Greetings and salutations, everybody. Welcome back to episode 106 of the Snarp Fangle podcast. I'm your host, Jake Metzger, your friendly neighborhood fake gamer who has the red reticle on him as we speak, since I still haven't played Bioshock to completion. And my co-host this week is someone who had two sticks and a rock, and he had to share the rock. Ladies and gentlemen, David Reed.
Yo.
How are you, David?
Not too bad.
All right, sounds good, sounds good. And we have some wonderful, lovely co-hosts this week. And they are these people. The man, the first one up, we got the man who's got the body of Damon Baird, but the voice of Lauren Lanning. Ladies and gentlemen, Billy Kemp.
I have no idea who those people are.
Damon's from Gears of War.
Oh, okay.
Lauren Lanning created Oddworld.
Okay, gotcha.
You could pull off a Damon Baird cosplay,
maybe.
I think.
I think so.
You had to dye your hair a little bit.
If you said Baird, I would have got it.
Oh, sorry, Baird. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
See, I'm a fake gamer, guys. I don't know how to pronounce that. I always heard him just say Damon.
Yeah.
I never know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, if Frankie would hear, he'd be calling you out for your fake gamerness.
He'd be kicking me out of the room.
Been kicked out many a time.
Been kicked out many a time.
And yet you're still here.
I'm still here, surprisingly. And our other co-host is someone who's our man on the inside, whose recent successful coup has his puppet Matt Booty exactly where we want him in Microsoft. Part of and head of the Xbox crew. We have him right where we want him to bring back Voodoo Vince. Ladies and gentlemen, Charles T.
I think Voodoo Vince was actually remastered and released on Steam.
It was. I was just looking it up before this, and it's remastered.
It
on
exists
Steam.
still.
Yeah,
straight out of 2003.
Dude, yeah, I want to.
That's had nothing to do with it, but yeah, it's definitely there.
Thank you for doing that, Charles. We appreciate you putting Matt Booty exactly in his place. We appreciate that. And for any and all inquiries about corporate espionage, and as well as anything else Xbox related and Microsoft related, send them on over to snarpfanglepod@gmail.com, or you can just text Jake. All right, gentlemen, I've gathered here today for a very special occasion. We are here, as the internet likes to talk about. They like to regale and to wax poetic about the fall and downfall of Microsoft, Xbox, all things green. We love to hate them, you know? You just love to hate them for many a reason. But today, let's take a look back. I gathered you here today, because I want to take a look back at the past and maybe appreciate a little bit of the more recent future as we talk about why we love Xbox.
Can I ask you one question first?
Yes, sir.
Have you seriously not actually finished Bioshock?
No.
How'd you get partway through it and stop?
I got about 3 hours in, and it's dope. This game's
so you
cool.
barely scratched the surface.
Yeah, I barely scratched the surface. I need to finish it. I just finished Doom the Dark Ages, so I think I've been trying to find another shooter. I know it's totally different, but I just need something else to play. I'm trying to figure out what else next to play. It might be Bioshock Remastered. So, have you finished it, Billy?
I have played all of them, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What's the best one? 1 or 3?
Ooh. I actually I think
like
just because the aesthetic, I loved the first one. The second one, it was good. It wasn't as good as the first, of course, but that was that shock factor. You know,
it was unique.
We had never seen like an environment like that before, but I think Infinite was my favorite. Booker T.
Played by Troy Baker.
Troy Baker.
Yeah. He played him that year in 2013, as well as Joel from The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Dude, what a crazy year for that guy.
And the music was incredible in that. All the
okay.
compositions and stuff like that were incredible.
That's the kind of music you listen to in your car anyway.
That's true. I'm a grandpa at heart.
All right. Well, I'll get to there one day. Maybe we'll do a peak analysis on Bioshock. That'd be kind of nice. If you guys want to be on it,
You'd have to finish it.
I have to finish it first. Well, we want to do the same thing for like Dune eventually, especially with the books. But I need to get through the books first. So it's all on me, guys. I'm holding up everybody. But let me
to be fair, I haven't finished Bioshock either.
What?
What?
Really?
I played Bioshock back when it came out on the 360. And I don't really remember how far I got through it. I think I got about like midway through it or whatever. And then I kind of took a break from gaming in general. And then my Xbox had the red ring of death. And then they sent me another one, and then it got the red ring of death as well.
The red ring.
So I was just done with 360s at that point.
Probably should take it off the carpet, bro.
And I I just never picked the game back up after that.
I was lucky enough. I've had all the systems from Xbox on to 360 and onward, and I never got the red ring of death.
I didn't either.
And I had a launch edition.
I was going to say, I didn't either. You've seen my 360.
Yeah.
We're getting ahead of ourselves, but I have a first edition 360 that still works flawlessly. We just used it.
Dang, okay.
Yeah, but I also, put it on a
luck of
cooling
the draw.
fan. And,
Yeah.
There's a luck of the draw with those things.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get. My sister, she had an Elite, and that was our first 360 we had. Excuse me, and it was fine. It was great. And then I accidentally tipped it over with Oblivion in the disc tray while it was running, and that scratched up the disc and broke it. I had to go get a new copy. The console was perfectly fine. Then she moved. She boots it up. She's trying to replay Mass Effect or Bioshock, one or the other, and it red rings on her just randomly.
Oh, no.
It was like 4 years later after I tipped it over. So I don't think it's related.
If I remember, it has something to do with heating too. Like
Yeah,
they get
yeah.
hot, and then something
Overheated.
would melt or
It's it's the GPU, if I remember correctly. The 360s with a certain generation of GPUs are prone to heat-related failure.
Maybe that's why we never got the ring of death, because we always had a laptop cooler on.
I was gonna say that's what I was saying. Is I always keep a cooling fan under.
Maybe.
My first gen has a cooling fan. My Slim has a cooling fan, and even the Reach one. The Reach one, I removed the panels to allow better ventilation. 3D printed a new top and put it back on so that it actually would keep airflow going.
Did it have a hood scoop?
No, but I should have done that. I think we're a generation and a half ahead here, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, speaking of which, I have 4.3 hours on Steam for Bioshock.
That's about what I have.
Yeah. You haven't finished it either?
Well, I finished it on 360, and then finished it again on PC,
on
and then it
Steam,
went
okay.
on Steam, and I went, oh, I should play that, bought it, and I'm not even sure. I mean, you're friends with me on Steam. I probably have like 0.1 of an hour. I looked at it and went, I'm going to play that.
I'm going to look at that. I put it up once and I
I
turned
put it on
off.
the title screen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's probably what it was, too. I probably went to play it, and something happened, and I was like, I'll get right back to that. It just didn't.
All right, well, let's start. Speaking of the 360 and all this kind of green chicanery, let us start with the first Green Machine, the OG Xbox.
Yes.
Released in 2001. You had Seamus Blackley, I think that's how I pronounce his name, and the whole course of Microsoft, after ups and downs and hills and valleys, trying to figure out if Bill Gates trying to figure out if he actually wants to try to take over the living room because he knows Sony's heading there with the PS2. Everybody knows it's happening. And even Sega might have a success with that Dreamcast system, maybe. Turns out that wasn't the case, and Sega went on to produce a lot of stuff on the OG Xbox. So I'm going to start with David here. Let's hand over to you. What's your experience with the OG Xbox? What was your first experience playing it? What game was that? Where did it all start for you with the Xbox?
Let's see. My first experience with the OG Xbox was playing Halo 2, actually.
Ooh.
And to be honest, I think Halo 2 is the only OG Xbox game that I actually played on the OG Xbox, because I never owned one.
Mm-hmm.
I never owned one. Various friends of mine had them, and sometimes we'd, have like Halo 2 LAN parties. And that was about the extent of my time actually playing an OG Xbox, was just playing Halo 2 at people's LAN parties. But yeah, I mean, it definitely made an impression on me. So when it came time to buy a new generation console of my own, I definitely went with Microsoft because of that experience with the OG Xbox.
So you went out and got it yourself? Played Halo 2?
Well, I didn't get the OG Xbox,
Oh, you
but when
got
I
it.
got my 360,
Oh, okay.
the decision to get the 360 was driven in large part by my experience playing Halo 2 on the OG Xbox.
Nice. Was there any other games you played on OG Xbox, like whether it be at LAN parties or friends' houses or stuff like that? What do you remember?
Well, I mean, I played other OG Xbox games just not on the
just on the 360.
on the 360, or
okay.
then there's been a couple that I've revisited via emulation or whatever, or re-releases. But yeah, as far as actually playing on a physical OG Xbox, it's pretty much just Halo 2.
All right. That sounds good. Sweet. Charles, what do you got for us?
Extremely similar, actually. We couldn't afford having an Xbox, but I had friends who could. And so I grew up, obviously, out here in the middle of nowhere with all of 12 people in my graduating class of 8th grade, and only 5 of us were dudes. And so 3 out of those 5, sometimes 4, hung out. But yeah, one of the gentlemen that I grew up with named Russell, who was at that time my best friend, had an Xbox, and he got it new. And so that's one of my fondest childhood memories, was playing Halo 1 at his house and listening to Eminem, of course, because that was as one does in 2000, 2001. But yeah, playing Halo 1 and then playing Halo 2, go over to his house and we'd hang out. We'd do things with 4-wheelers and other slightly less safe things. Then we come back in and play the Xbox for 5-6 hours and stuff. And I did that a lot of summers. And so same thing when I went to go buy my 360, that was why I decided to get it instead of a PlayStation, was because I remembered that and I went, oh, it plays the older ones? Dude, I'm going to get that. And I'm going to go find another copy of Halo and I'm going to play it. And that's exactly what I did. Yeah.
And as you were saying, you still have that 360 today.
Yeah, I still have that
Crazy.
one.
I'm so jealous of that.
Yeah. Then when the 360 Slim came out, I got it. And I still have that one. And I still have my original copy of Halo too. It's in a lockbox. But I actually, my first time playing Halo wasn't even on, well, it was at Russell's, but my first time playing my own copy of Halo was on PC, because I had PCs. Because of where my father worked, I was able to get parts PCs and cobble them together. And so I had what I at the time referred to as a gaming rig, and now would be referred to as a household computer with very minimal modifications. I bought Halo Combat Evolved and played it on PC when it came out, and that was what I played, and then went into Xbox. And so when I got the 360, I kind of abandoned it, but I still have that copy too somewhere. It's amazing the things you have when your house doesn't burn down.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I just got rid of mine. I have a bad habit of just getting bored with things and just getting rid of things. I've vowed to not do that again.
Yeah, you're in a
Keeping
room with
everything.
a bunch of hoarders, man. We save our stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't. It's not like we don't.
But you're
use
probably
them.
in a better scenario than us, to be fair, because we have all this just stuff, and you're like, I got efficiency, man.
I've seen a storage unit. I'm not sure how true
Yeah,
that is. He just has other stuff.
Just other stuff.
Yeah, I moved into an apartment, and you accrue things very fast.
No. We still use the Xboxes, though, so it's a legitimate reason.
Yes.
Yeah.
I pull out the 360s, like we were talking about before we started recording. I tried to have a LAN party. We had one successfully. Didn't end up using the 360s, mostly because they didn't work. We used one Xbox, and the rest was, and the 360s worked, but the internet did not jive well with the 360s.
Yeah.
That was the problem. Router kept
Too
kicking.
fast. Yeah.
Too fast. All right, Billy. How about you? What do we got for the OG Xbox?
The
green
OG
machine?
Xbox story. Well, I actually got it to spite my brother.
Oh.
My brother was a PlayStation guy. We grew up with PlayStation. Right?
Okay.
And yeah, he had the PS2, and that was well, it was supposed to be for us, because we put together one Christmas for to my mom, begging her, this is circa probably 1999, 2000. And we're like, if we put our one big gift together, can we get the PlayStation 2? And it quickly just became his. So it was supposed to be ours, and I gave up my big gift for the year 2000, but he took it over because he bought the only games we had were rated M for mature.
Oh.
Yeah, he figured out a great way around that. I remember that. He did that on purpose, too.
Yeah,
100%.
and so I couldn't play anything but the demos we had, because that was back in the day when you had disc demos.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anyways,
Dude, I forgot about that.
Yeah, the little promo ones.
Yeah.
They used to come in cereal
Yeah, the
boxes
little
too.
tiny discs. Yeah.
And so I decided that I was going to work my butt off and get my own system. And I had this friend, Raul. Shout out Raul. But he was telling me about this amazing game, which was Halo. Of course, that's where most people start. And he just told me this magical tale of what you could do, and that you could drive these cars. And I was like, wait, you could actually get into the car,
Right.
and drive it, and it's not a car driving game? and then you get out and you
do
shoot
both?
aliens. I was like, oh my God. So I made that my life's goal. And I worked on the farm, cleaning vehicles and all sorts of stuff. And then it's actually a magical moment because my dad was home from deployment and he's like, you ready? And he pitched in the last $40.
All right.
He was a G.
Through.
He was a G. He was like, I see you working for this.
Nice.
So he pitched in the last $40 and we rode our bikes from from the outskirts of town all the way into Hollywood Video.
Whoa.
To Game Crazy.
Dude.
And bought my first Xbox. And I have to say that thing was very heavy in the backpack.
Whoa, man. Yeah,
I bet he made you totally carry yourself, huh? Yeah, there's no way.
For a 9-year-old.
There's no way your brother would have helped. Yeah.
They're trying to
thing's
truck
massive.
that thing in the back of a scholastic backpack or what was it, whatever it was. One of those
Jam
classic,
Sport.
Jan
That's a big
Sport
box,
backpacks.
too.
Yeah.
Dang.
And we had to. It was open, and Dad had duct tape. Seriously, duct tape. And he duct taped it to me, so it wasn't even around. And that's how we got it home. But I remember the moment I brought it out, and my brother was like, "Oh, you didn't?" And I was like, "I have 4 ports, dude.
I can play 4
I don't
player.
need the controller splitter anymore, man."
Did he look at you and go, but you don't have 4 friends?
Yeah, and I can play MP3s on it, man.
Yeah, man.
While you play games. Do you remember that feature? You could play your MP3s.
You get your show tunes while you're killing grunts.
Yeah.
Because you could rip the discs.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
could.
Yeah.
You could.
Oh, man.
And
Yeah,
so
we
you
never
could
did
play
that. We
your
just played it.
playlist while playing whatever games. But I mean, Halo wasn't the only game I ended up getting. I was a big, we were big into like war games. So, but they had to be historical because my dad was in the military. So I got like Brothers in Arms.
Nice.
That was really good. Full Spectrum Warrior.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people don't even know what that one is. And just, a lot of the classics and stuff like NFL and Madden and that type of thing. But
No,
Yeah.
no Voodoo Vince.
no Voodoo Vince.
Same for same here.
Yeah.
Well, that's dope. That's cool.
Yeah, that was one of the proudest moments growing up. I was like, I bought my own Xbox.
That's dope. Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
And he had a girlfriend too.
Whoa,
same time. It
At
was
the
crazy.
same time?
Not
Dang.
after I got the Xbox.
Oh,
When the
man.
breakup happened.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to my room now.
Wait, I
Listen to
did.
my MP3s.
Yeah, I did. Her name was Cortana.
Yeah. Dang. Well, that's a cool story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you,
Pretty
guys.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, it was. It's funny you say, "Wow, you can get in the vehicle and outside the vehicle." I remember when my family got Banjo Kazooie on the
yeah.
N64. Thad was like, "Whoa, his fingers move! Isn't that crazy?"
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Their
'Cause he,
mouths
like,
move
knocks
when
and
they
he's like,
talk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, whoa. How they talk in this game?
Their eyebrows raised. Whoa.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking of both pixels of the face. Be like, oh, dude, he's got facial expressions. And looking back now, you're like, what am I even looking at?
What is that? A skeleton
It's
playing
like when,
a xylophone?
It's like back in the day, we played Metroid on the NES. It's like
Yeah.
you got the secret NES. It's like, oh, Samus is a girl.
Yeah.
Nowadays it's like 5 pixels and it's like, that
Yeah,
doesn't
well-
even look like a person.
The pinnacle of that is the first Laura Croft game, but we'll not go into
The
that.
triangles.
The
yeah.
triangle.
The triangles.
Oh man,
They look so real.
so real. Look at Cloud's hair, man. That's crazy.
You know what? I kind of a little small, very, very small side tangent. You know what game I played recently that has similar movement to Tomb Raider was Siphon
Yeah,
Filter.
we're alive. Oh.
Do you ever play
Oh.
Siphon Filter?
No, never.
Way back in the day, that game, like, you know how the movement was big. That was the big thing about Tomb Raider was that you could run around and jump and shoot and
Thank God
stuff.
you specified.
And Siphon Filter, you could do. It was the same movement. It's like they copy pasted the game from. I don't know. It was so
Interesting.
similar because I had just played the retro original Tomb Raider because I got the whole pack, and then I played Siphon Filter and I was like, wait a second, these are like the exact same controls. This is bizarre.
Game engine, probably.
Yeah.
Game engine.
Yeah, who did
My friend
Siphon
had
Filter?
Siphon Filter for the PS2, so I played
Yeah.
that at his house growing up, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Because I'd never really played anything like that game before. Like,
Yeah.
I never,
You
like,
run around.
yeah, it's just
like
like,
a small environment.
You know,
Hmm.
I played like mostly, platformers up to
Yeah.
that point. So Siphon Filter's like, whoa, you got like guns and you can do cool like military maneuvers and stuff.
But did anybody ever beat that game? Because
No.
I don't think
I've
anybody
never
ever
heard
did.
of anyone meeting it. I'm sure somebody did.
Yeah.
I wonder what the gamer score on that.
I'm
would
pretty
be,
sure
like
all of us in
0.001.
like our age bracket played like 5-10 minutes and went, this is really cool, and then just got overwhelmed and stopped
turned it
playing
off,
Yeah.
Dude, my friend and I made like a point of trying to beat it because that game was incomprehensible from what I remember.
Yes,
like the
exactly.
mission
Yeah.
objectives and everything was just like, what?
Rescue,
You-
rescue, run, rescue where?
You failed the mission and you're like, what even
How?
happened there? So we like put our
Turns the
heads together
controller
one day as like, we're beating this game. We're gonna beat this game. We didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
We're gonna have to get the paper and pencils out. We're gonna get this done. But no.
That was before you could just look up walkthroughs on the internet. So
Kids
get,
these
like, the-
days have it so easy.
So easy. It's incredible.
You had to get like the Mad Cats journals. Do you remember those?
no.
Where they'd come up with like,
You know that controller I use is a Mad Cat still, right? The one that I
Yeah.
use on my Steam Deck is an OG Mad Cat's controller.
I'm pretty sure Mad Cats came out with.
So surprised it worked.
I know they had cheat codes. Mad Cats had cheat code books.
Yeah, and Surfshark. Or
Yeah.
Surfshark. Jeez. No, Shark something.
Sharks. Yeah.
Something
Shark,
Shark.
but-
Game. No.
No,
I
it was
can't
Game Shark.
remember.
Game Shark.
Yeah.
Game Shark.
Not Surf Shark. Wrong Shark.
I can't
Different
remember
Shark.
which one it was. Maybe it was Game Shark, but they'd have like the first journal, like
You
the
had
first
that.
playthrough.
I remember you had the whole was it Fable? I think the
Oh my
Surfshark
God, yeah.
walkthrough. I remember that.
It was a good
That's cool.
Xbox exclusive. Was Fable.
I've known you too long.
I have that now. I'm playing through it again
Yeah.
before the
Dang.
new one comes out.
Yeah.
Did
that
wanted
one
to
looks
play it.
cool.
I wish it was. I still wish it was multiplayer.
Yeah,
That's the only single player game. That,
kicking
like, I
chickens
really-
all day
yeah.
long, man.
Kicking.
Why kicking chicken? Chicken. No man.
Kicking
Dyslexia
chicken.
just kicked right in there. Oh man.
Just chicken.
But yeah,
right in there.
Sony Ben did a Siphon Filter. They did the Days Gone game and a bunch of PSP stuff.
Oh, those are the same
Sony-
developers?
Yeah.
Oh, I love
why.
Days
They
Gone.
started with Siphon Filter.
Wow,
So it's pretty cool.
that's cool.
Yeah. You kind of look like that guy from.
I've
He
been
looks
told
a
that.
little bit. He looks a little bit like everybody. I don't know if you've
You
noticed
look like
this.
Sam Whitworth.
See, I've got that. I always tell people, I'm glad I'm in a room full of gamers.
Yeah.
I always tell people, I'm like, the default character
Yeah,
in
he's got default
RPGs,
character face.
that before you customize them, because I get that so often.
I was gonna write instead of Damon Baird. I was gonna write the Nord from Skyrim.
Yes.
I was like,
Okay.
no, let's keep it Xbox.
Side tangent. 100% true side tangent. So there's this other thing going on in the background I won't talk too much about, but Billy just got hired as the character in all the advertising because he has what was referred to as,
Generic.
and I quote, generic dude face. Because what do you mean? Well, no one's quite sure what he is or where he came from. He just looks like that dude. And if you just say some guy and it's default face, you picture Bill's face.
Yeah, you're my favorite character, Billy, from that one Tony Hawk game. You're
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
favorite
exactly.
character.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Downhill Jam on the Wii, you were that guy.
There's 1,000 games that have a character that looks kind of like Billy.
All right. Well, you know what? You also look like a little bit like Banjo from Banjo Kazooie. Let's be real here.
I was going
going-
to say Sasquatch, but that works
I
out.
was gonna say, is that the one with the ape?
No. But going back to that, yeah, that was like my first game I tried to play when I was like a little kid. I was born in 97, so I'm like the younger guy here. But I tried to play that game. I couldn't get to Grunty's castle or Grunty's lair. Couldn't do it. And I was like 3, 4, I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. And also, N64 controller. It's an alien controller. Come on. No child is going to be like, I know how to do this.
Why does it have like 3 handles?
Yeah, why is there 3?
That was for
What's
single
going on?
joysticking. Like that.
Just
the
yeah,
controllers,
yeah. And then the Wii came later with the nunchuck. I don't know. Anyway, so my first experience with Xbox was I actually still have it. So I think it's kind of dead right now, or it's got a broken drive or something. But I recently got it, and the manufacture date's 03. So I want to say it's around there when this happened. But Thad bought it. He was working, and he got. There's also like I think. He was born in 83. I'm 97. So about a 14-year difference. So this
Yeah.
was an older brother.
Yeah.
And he comes into the house. We had just had like N64 and I think GBAs at that point. No big new stuff. And he comes barging in. He's got this box in his hands. We're like, what's that? We run to the back room where all the games are hooked up and the TV. And he's like, yeah, I got the Xbox. We're like, what's that? And he opens it up. We probably seen commercials. Like, we probably knew what it was. But all four of us younger kids were like, what is that? So me, Eileen, Chelsea, Alexi, all the three other sisters, we were there. Angie's probably writing like she usually does at that time. And she's like, nah, I'm not into video games. But anyway, us four younger kids follow Thad in the back room. He opens it up. We're looking through. We're, taking the controller out and stuff. He got an
Unboxing.
extra controller, so there's two.
Whoa.
We're like, whoa. And he bought some games too. So he had Fusion Frenzy,
Fusion Frenzy.
Halo
That I can
1,
remember.
Yeah.
and I think Knights of the Old Republic or Prince of Persia. Like maybe all four of those. I don't know. One or the other.
Man,
But
they used to come with such good games comparatively.
yeah. But like, and this is 03, so it's been out for 2 years. You got some titles and stuff. But anyway, we unwrap it. He hooks it up. This thing's a massive thing. He pulled it out. I'm like, whoa, that thing's huge, man. This is 03, so I'm like 6 years old, maybe something like that, 5 or 6. Anyway, so he opens it up. They put this N64 off to the side. We eventually sits on top of it at the time. So later on, it was the Xbox and the N64 right next to it. And then when we eventually got the GameCube, we had to like mashed them in there or whatever. So it's like all
The
three
Transformer.
the Devastator of the consoles is just in there. But anyway, so he boots it up and we stick in Fusion Frenzy, and all I see is this like. Now looking back on it, it's this dude that kind of looks like Limp Bizkit. That's the first guy that pops up and he's cracking his knuckles. It's Samson, And as a little kid, I'm like, yo, that looks like Thad. That's crazy. And we're playing Fusion Frenzy, this Mario Party clone, and we're having a great time. It's really, really fun. And it's just so crazy. The music's all wacky, super 2000s looking back on it now, especially the whole green aesthetic in general. But
the startup sound.
Dude, the startup sound, man. We watched it, we're like, whoa, and the and it's on
The
crappy
blob.
TV speakers, but man, was it awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, we play that for a little bit, and then we eventually take a break from that. We only had 2 controllers, so us 4 or 5 siblings were all swapping out the controller and taking turns and stuff. And it was just a really, really fun time.
Yeah.
I think after that, we eventually we stopped playing that, and he puts in Knights of the Old Republic. And so he plays the intro of the battle, the ship and the spaceship and all that kind of thing, and waking up on the ship and that kind of stuff. So throughout the day, we're watching him play, and we kind of cycle in and out of the room, go do chores and that kind of thing. But that was my first experience, and it was kind of magical, because from then on, it was like, I wasn't allowed to watch him play Halo. But later on, when he got Halo 2 specifically, like our room, us 4 siblings, our room was like the next room over from the back room where the games were. So like we would like peek around the corner, and like try to see what he's
watch
playing.
from a distance. I did
his
that
buddy
too.
John or James would come over, and we try to sneak them watching it and stuff. And Thad wasn't like allowed to bring like GTA in the house.
Yeah.
So when the Spider-Man 2 game came out, him and I think John Purviance sat down and stayed up like till like 1 a.m. playing Spider-Man 2 in the back room. It was hilarious. Like we barely got any sleep that night. But anyway. But yeah, it was a really cool experience. Just watching him talk to like Cartho Nasty, it's like, whoa, these graphics are crazy. That kind of thing. Like definitely a huge step up from the N64.
Oh, I would even argue that the Xbox has superior graphics to the PlayStation.
Oh, dude, I've
Two
seen
at
it
the
now.
time.
Yeah. At the
Like
time,
never having
yeah.
a PS2, but looking back now,
Yeah.
100%.
I mean,
100%.
yeah, the
That was the whole
Xbox was
thing.
like, the Xbox was actually, to be honest, it was like half a generation ahead of the other two.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was dramatic, the difference in processing power between the two.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
There's a really good, I'll bet kind of cringy documentary that Xbox actually made for the history of the company and the console, all the consoles. And I think it goes up to like 2021 after the series consoles release. Highly recommend it. It's called Power On, an Xbox story. It's really good. It's like, I think 6-part documentary, each 45 minutes apiece.
Oh, cool.
Really cool stuff. And they dive into like what they were trying to do to get this thing out the door and what they had to do. Because by the time Bill Gates greenlit them. They had $1 billion budget. So they're like, okay, we have all the money we need to finish this and get this going. But we have it 18 months to release. So it's like, what the heck are we going to do?
Yeah.
And they even stole, kind of like Microsoft stealing from Apple, the Xbox team stole, I think, some of the Windows code and just started taking all the crap out of there to make the Xbox OS. It's really cool stuff.
You think that they had 18 months to develop the original Xbox, and the gap between consoles now is usually 10 to 12 years.
Yeah, I think it was 2022 or 3. Mark Cerny announced they're in development for the PS6, and 2027 was the release. So it's about 5 to 6 year time frame.
Yeah.
Usually.
Which, for development of something like that, is still pretty quick.
Yeah.
But it's no 18 months.
No, that's
No.
Well, look at the because we're talking about generic consoles as a whole. Look at the Steam machine that's coming up pretty soon. I'm pretty excited about that. It's basically, and they're on the same. They're not on a 5-year timeline. They're
on their own one.
Yeah,
Microsoft.
they're
their
on
own
Valve
little
time.
Valve time, which is somewhere between Microsoft and Elon time.
I've heard the new Xbox is going to be coming out is going to be more like the Steam machine.
It has to be.
It's
or
just going to be
compete.
a straight up PC.
Yeah.
It basically has to compete. I mean, one of the most common, I think I was reading some statistics on this because I was curious. One of the most common modifications of the old 360s is to take it, change the graphics card because it ran on effectively modified Windows. You just change the graphics card and download the Windows drivers, and it bolts right in with like just a couple of DLLs, and you're perfectly fine. So you can change a lot of the hardware, and you should totally hop on the magical Google and check out YouTube University for this. There are some really sweet mods for like the older Xbox and Xbox 360 and stuff to make them more compatible for today's games. And as far as, because I mean, let's be
You're talking
honest,
about the
DVD
original Xbox or 360?
Both. The 360
okay.
more so, but the original Xbox as well. It has that heat problem.
Yeah.
So they both have that whole, if you put too much stuff into the case, you start needing
Gosh,
to find
those things
holes.
used to get hot.
Yeah, it was rough.
They were overclocked is why. They're
Yeah.
stock overclock like the turbo, like the turbo button. It's basically the turbo button for PC is just stuck on, and that's why they got so hot.
Yeah, we had the enclosure I was describing with the N64, the eventually GameCube and Xbox. It was like maybe an inch of breathing room in between the Xbox and the walls.
Gosh.
It was rough. And it was sitting on cinder blocks with like this, like, it was on cinder blocks with a shelf, a wooden shelf in a part of like a half entertainment center with the square
Is that the
TV
one
on
that was
top.
connected to the wall that everyone had?
No. This,
Oh.
no. This was like,
Would
it
you
might
like
have
to
been
tell us
taken
what
off
happened
of the
to
wall.
yours that was connected
Maybe
to
it
the
was
wall?
taken off the wall from years ago. I don't know.
Does that count as an Xbox related story?
It
I
is.
think
It
that
is
is an
an
Xbox
Xbox-related
related
story.
Billy, would you like to tell us about what happened with your wall mounted entertainment center? Standard entertainment center that everybody had, the press board light wood colored one with the almost glass doors kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the classic one when you look at any picture of any one of our houses from that time frame.
Well, don't give a
How did it die?
Oh, the Xbox didn't die, it survived.
No,
Yeah.
the entertainment center.
Oh, it shattered.
Ow!
Don't give an 8-year-old a gaming chair that rocks back.
Oh no!
This goes exactly where you think this is going.
And well, I leaned back on it and pulled the controller back because wired controller, and for whatever reason, those Xbox controller the hook-ins were pretty
Yeah, the
easily to
hook-in-
pull out.
Yeah.
Well, they designed that way so that small children couldn't drop CRT monitors on their
Yeah.
faces.
Well, for whatever reason, port 1 decided to hang on for all life and pull not only the Xbox but the entire entertainment center
TV and all.
down onto the poor little 6-year-old.
Oh no!
And the head injuries ensued. But
That is
Just a minor note,
That
one of
entertainment
many.
center was gone. It just and all the
exploded.
glass
But the
broke and the
funny
wood
part-
came apart and the shelves popped up.
Yeah, the
and-
glass shattered. But the funny part was the only thing that survived was the Xbox.
was the Xbox.
That's hilarious. That sucker was
Well,
a
and you.
machine. That thing was a brick.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, that sucker's a brick. I was like moving because I have a couple
That's a big
just
TV.
sitting in
too.
the room, and it's like just off to the side. And I was moving. I'm like, man, these things are beefy and heavy. And it's
Yeah.
cool. Like even when you take them apart and you look at the design, the X clamp and everything, that the CPU and GPU, like the APU, like is the same design carrying on.
Yeah.
In the future.
Yeah.
So cool. So cool.
They designed it, and someone else went, "Hey, that's a good idea. We'll just keep doing that." Because that's innovation nowadays, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Yeah.
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 Exactly. All right. Well, let's get into some of the games. I went through just like the like all the Metacritic games in quotes and kind of just pulled from there and then pulled from a bunch of stuff that I've played over the years as well. Looking at the list, is there anything that stands out to you guys? You guys have mentioned Halo and Halo 2. We can start with that. What was your guys' experience playing that for the first time? Well, now we are kind of went over that already, but what was your experience afterward? Did you guys play online? No. Did you guys get over to 3 really quick, or what was your time with Halo 1 and 2?
I didn't play online on the first system just because their internet wasn't fast enough. I think we had dial-up back then.
Mm-hmm.
But the second 360 was the first time I think we ever had broadband. We actually had this internet provider called Spectrum.
Yeah, Spectrum Internet, yeah.
Yeah.
Still around.
Yeah, it's still around. And we were able, I mean, the lag was insane.
Yeah, because that's satellite.
Yeah. And we were able to finally get that. Like, we tried to play it on Spectrum, and I think, and I guess I was in high school playing 360, and we got broadband finally up where I lived, and that's when I finally started doing it. That was more like Call of Duty, like Modern Warfare, the first one.
Yeah.
That's when I really played online. So
cool, man.
Yeah.
Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 2?
Call of Duty Black Ops. That was like the first game that I played online with friends consistently, other than the Halo series.
Yeah.
It was Black Ops 2. And it was just zombies.
Yeah, just zombies.
Zombies all day. Yeah.
So when Reach came out with Gruntocalypse,
oh,
I was like, oh, it's zombies, but they explode with confetti.
They explode.
Grunt birthday party?
Oh, man. So we had that LAN party for my birthday, and it was hilarious because we had, man, when's the last time you played Halo?
Before then, at least a decade.
Yeah, I think
Dang,
the
whoa.
person who had played Halo the soonest was my wife at like 6 or 7 years ago. I had kind of touched it for like 5 minutes on my Steam Deck and then went, cool, it works, and that was it. So that was the first time I played it, and it took me 10 minutes, but it was hilarious. Like, it took me 10 or 15 minutes to realize they definitely tweaked their Gruntocalypse birthday party settings because we were headshotting, and we're 3 of us are just standing up on top of the map with the tower, and then you got the glass, I forget what it is. I think it's actually called the tower. Sentinel?
I don't know.
There's
I don't
glass
remember.
tower, and then you got the walkways when they spawn off to the sides, and there's like a
You
lake
talking
on
about
one
the
side.
map
and
boardwalk? Is that what you're talking about?
that's it.
Okay,
There you
that's
go.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, there you go. See it?
Yeah, the
I knew
tower
they'd
in the
get it.
middle, the
Yeah.
little elevated.
So we're
yeah,
standing
okay.
on the tower, and the 3, you, me, and I think that was Alex at the time, and then traded off with that, are just standing on the tower, just sniping, and you just hear, bop, yay, yay, yay. I got a Killtrocity with grunt headshots, and I haven't done that. I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh man, nostalgia, just like riding a bicycle, just right back onto it, like just bam, and it was apparently got complaints that you can't turn the Gruntocalypse birthday party thing, grunt birthday party off.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I was asking my wife, I was like, how do we turn it on? How do we turn it on? I won't play unless we can,
Unless it's on. Yeah.
unless we can do it.
Yep.
And she's like, apparently you can't turn it off, and it's the single most complained about feature of Master Chief Collection. I was like, oh man, nostalgia, man.
Yeah, dude, I was today I was trying out just playing 0117 on Halo 3, just the first mission. And yeah, when they ported Master Chief Collection, we can get to it later. But man, when they ported that thing over, the physics really did change. Because playing Halo 3 on the original 360, because I actually, we'll get into it later, but I used to speedrun the game. Not professionally or anything, but I used to speedrun Halo 3.
Do you want to get into the?
I got pretty decent.
Into the porting issues now or later?
Yeah, we'll save it for later.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, it's different.
I have a comment on that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into it. But yeah,
Fangle.
well, for Halo 1 and 2, I guess I'll go next. Like for Adelaide, she got it on PC, kind of like how you did, Charles. And so she played it. She would listen to like the band Red while playing them, and it was like I thought it was so badass at the time. I'm like, man, she's got iTunes open. She's listening to Red and Disciple and like As I Lay Dying and all this stuff as like she's playing Halo 1, you know, on her Windows Vista laptop, by the way. And then she also had Halo 2, and she'd play it on there. And then finally got to play it later growing up because I was never allowed to play it. It was the household's like, if it's rated M, you can't play it.
Yep.
You know? But there was one time for Halo 2 specifically when it came out, Thad grabbed the Xbox and moved it into his room. And for that night, so he's like, I'm playing this. And so he's playing through, I think he was on like Delta Halo or something. And he was playing it, and we knew he was playing it. And mom and dad said, okay, he's playing the new game. You can't watch him play. So he's going to go play in his room. We're like, okay. We're all in bed. I get out of bed with my my blanket and my whoopee, and I like walk across the house, and I knock on his door, and I'm waiting and waiting, and I hear the shooting happen. All of a sudden, I hear the shooting stop, and he opens the door, and he's like, "Hey, good night, Jake." And he's like, he looks around. Okay, come on in. and I just sit there on his bed for what seemed like forever, watching him play Halo 2.
So
and then
cool.
one at a time, Adelaide
Everybody.
walks
Yeah.
in, he lets her in. Chelsea comes up, lets her in. Lexi finally figures it out, and being the youngest, no offense, Lexi. No, totally. And she comes in and she sits down, and I think Adelaide's playing like Game Boy or something. Chelsea and me are watching, and Lexi's like, whoa. And then finally Dad walks in, and he just opens the door. He's like, just looks around, looks at the TV. Dad's still playing. And then he's like, all right, you guys get to bed. And we all get out of there and go to bed. It was a pretty
was cool.
memorable experience. So, what about Charles, David, fight?
What?
Who goes next
Oh,
for
you,
Halo?
you can go. It's okay.
All right, Halo. Yeah, so pretty much my early experience with Halo is what I said. Halo 2 LAN parties. Was had quite a few, like when I first started going to youth group, when I first became of age to do so. Like I remember that's around the time that I was exposed to Halo, because Thad and James and John all had Xboxes, and there would be, we'd have youth group like guys' days and stuff where we'd have LAN parties at one of their places or whatever. And so, but I never actually played it online or anything like that. I didn't have internet growing up. And by the time I was, of age to get my own internet service, I kind of had fallen out of gaming for a spell. So yeah, that was the one thing I didn't experience was the early days of Halo 2 online.
Dang. I bet that was super fun. But did you have a mic at all or nah? Could you hear other people?
What?
Did you have a mic at all?
I just said I didn't
Oh,
experience.
you didn't? Oh, I thought you said you did. Oh,
No,
my
I said
bad.
it's the one thing I did not experience.
Oh,
Well, did you have the microphone to not experience it? Just sitting there playing single player with a microphone. Hello, nobody.
I have to add a little comment. The worst thing before headsets, played the sound of the game through the headsets that a lot of people don't realize, like kids these days don't realize.
You couldn't hear the game.
Well, no.
That was my
People's voices came through the actual TV speakers.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And when you're gaming with a whole bunch of college-age people
Yeah.
in your mom's living room, and they drop
You
some
dirty little-
horrendous
Yep.
speech, your parents look at you like you're, into drugs
Guess
or
who's
something, and you're like, "That's not me. I can't control that."
So
And
this
they're
is before the
Why are they
drugs?
talking that way? I don't know.
I don't know.
The panic.
I don't know, Mom. I can see you just bursting into tears. I don't know, Mom. I'm sorry they yelled at me.
And then my mom would just be like, "Turn the sound off now."
Yeah.
Because there was the early days of online gameplay was
Well, they're the same.
Wild West.
They're the same, except without. They're like they are now, except less 10-year-olds and more people cursing.
Yeah.
See, I
Well,
was the
no, probably the
10-year-old.
same amount of people
5-year-olds
cursing.
now.
Yeah.
I was the 10-year-old.
Yeah, you were the 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of my LAN experience came from the youth group I was in. Same thing. Like, so Bill's older brother, Jimbo, and I were in a youth group. And that's how I met Bill.
Yeah,
When
actually,
he was like 6.
LAN party.
was
We
LAN
actually
party
kind of
stuff.
met
Yeah.
playing a Halo LAN
Halo
party.
LAN party.
Nice.
Little
When you
Caesar's
were like
Pizza, Mountain
6 or
Dew.
7 or 8 or something like that. Yeah, I think 6.
We did. I'm pretty sure we did an all-nighter.
Yeah, we'd lock ourselves into the facility from which the youth group was affiliated. And they would literally just have old people and they'd lock us in there and there'd be like 2 adults trying to put up with like 15, 16 kids. And we would play 16 player when it was 8. It was 2 8
Man
groups because it was
party.
8. So you couldn't do 16, but it was 8 and 8. And so we'd have 2 sets of Xbox LAN parties that were all just going through. Somebody had like one of those old
Tournaments.
little old Netgear like multi-switch.
Yeah.
And so
Oh,
everybody's just
man.
in the same room screaming at each other and you're trying to figure out who's on your team and whether the person next to you is playing in the same same lobby as you, because if you're not paying attention, then if you're not paying attention, then you're probably yelling, "Why are you covering me?" And the dude next to you is like in a different map trying to figure out what you're talking about.
Yeah. I hate it when like they just you're in a LAN party and they drop out of the match.
Yeah.
You're like, why are you doing this?
I
Like,
see
come
you.
on. I
Right.
see you. Literally
Jimmy,
see you.
I can see your
Yeah.
controller.
This isn't the internet, man. So
But yeah, that was my exposure to multiplayer online, was primarily that. And then this weird thing that we used to do when I was a kid with another group of people who will remain nameless. We did this thing called machinima, which is when you record it. We did a lot of that in Halo 1 and some in Halo 2. And then when they started, and then it was a breakthrough when they actually removed the reticle.
yeah, whoa, man.
And it was like, oh, we don't have to upload to the website with a reticle.
To get that? Didn't you have to point your gun down?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You'd
wow.
have
Your character,
to.
and I think it was a Halo 1 or I think there was both Halo 1 and 2.
I think I cannot
Halo
remember.
1,
Halo 1, you
if I
point your
remember
One, it
correctly,
was
down.
pointed down for
had
sure.
a glitch
Yeah,
where
where you
look
could
down,
put your
it would look
weapon
up.
down.
Yeah.
And the character's head would go
And
up.
then, but like,
Halo 2 was something else.
Red versus
skull.
Blue had become so popular at that point that when they developed Halo 2, they actually included the being able to put your weapon down as a like intended function of the game
Yeah,
for people to do
machinima.
machinima with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so in Halo 1, like myself and a group of like 6 or 7 other guys, and like I didn't know them really well, and I didn't know who they would be, but I didn't know them really well. But we used to they were just some of the guys I would game with, and that was my multiplayer online experience, was these drunk guys that I used to hang out with every now and then, who were also in the military. And then when I went in the military, I understood it a lot more. A couple of them had been discharged, and then some hadn't, and they'd end up going to college for like movie making or something, and they ended up in a video game, and we just would play video games and then be like, okay, we're going to record stuff. We need you to stand over there and look down and then look here and then send me what you record. And that was like, I don't know, way back in the day, but it was so magical to me to be like, what do you mean we're recording? Oh, this is for like this thing we do. Like, we just need you to do it because someone's missing this week and we don't have anybody else. And we tangentially know you because you're here a lot. So
That's
you're
awesome.
on the forums and you're on the web pages and stuff, and we know you. So we need you to just like record. So there's like 3 or 4 episodes of a couple really cool things that I was at least mildly involved with recording because I was there. And that was my online experience, was just like
Dang.
being in the right place, standing there and not talking a lot, which is very contrary to now.
Sounds like my online experience whenever I played online. I never do a mic at all. I would just be like the silent guy. They'd be like, is there a mic on? I'd be like, ooh, I was too scared.
That's what it was, is I
Yeah.
didn't want to talk to because I was like, I don't know, 17, 18, 16, something like that. And these
Same
guys were
here.
like
Yep,
in their
yep.
early 20s. And so like, I'm like, oh, they think I'm cool. I should mute my mic before I fix that. You know?
Yeah, well,
That's why I rejoiced when the party chat thing came onto Xbox 360,
Yeah,
where
group
you could
parties,
just
yeah.
talk to your people.
Mhm.
I'm like, I like that better. I don't like it. I still to this day don't do open chat.
no, yeah, it's same. And it's so funny too, looking at today's game specifically with like extraction shooters, the proximity chat's making a huge comeback in a lot of ways.
Pretty fun.
It's really interesting.
I like
It's
watching
cool.
people, like some of the fun proximity ones with like effects and stuff, or like the
Yeah,
fall
or
off a
somebody's
cliff.
got a soundtrack going on, like, "Hey guys, got any requests?" And he's like on a tower or something.
Yeah.
you can sit down below in Arc Raiders and just watch him. Or
Yeah.
like that. So that's super cool. But any other games for the original Xbox? I mean, there's a ton on this list.
Yeah.
One that stands out to me is definitely Nice Old Republic. I don't know
Yeah.
if you
That's
guys
a good
played
one.
that.
I played
But-
that.
My God,
I
what a
played that, but
game,
not
man.
that much.
what a game!
Again,
I
I
played
did.
that on iOS.
But like, I remember most of the games I would watch my siblings play.
Yeah,
Like
that's-
I couldn't
I'd
figure
watch
out
Russell
like an
play
RPG
stuff,
like
'cause
that.
I wasn't allowed to play, but technically no one was there to stop me from watching.
Yep.
But we didn't want to let me play because that would be in trouble. And Russell's mom Russell was much more mature than I was. And so he would go play the rated M games like Grand Theft Auto, whichever. I think it was 2.
Three,
Probably
three,
Vice City.
three, Vice City, and
Yeah,
San
I'm
Andreas.
trying to remember
Yeah,
which
that's
one's
what
on
we
there.
had
And
on
so I would watch that and go, yep, I can't play that. And then I'd be mocked because it's like, there's literally no one here. It's like, I was told not to play that though. So
Yeah, I remember Adelaide and Chelsea starting Prince of Persia up, and when you cut somebody with your sword, there's a spurt of blood.
yeah,
You're
it's like, oh,
I'm like, and
no.
then Adelaide and Chelsea are like, it's okay, it's all right. And then thankfully that's the only level where you fight human beings.
Yeah.
Where there's blood. The rest is just sand zombies. So there's
Yeah.
no blood. I could watch them play it. Even though
Yeah.
they're killing zombies and stuff.
As long as there's sand zombies.
Sand zombies.
One of the landmark games for me, and I think we already went over this on another episode, it was Half-Life 2 on the OG Xbox port of that. I bought it when I got my 360, and like I was late to the Half-Life game. I never played Half-Life 1, only heard about Half-Life 2, and then bam, I pop it in and it was like, whoa, this is like the future of gaming, even though it's already been out for a few years.
Still to this day, it holds up pretty good. Half-Life 2 does.
Yeah,
it's scratchy,
truly
but
does.
it's got some
Scratchy's a good
crunch.
way.
It's got some scratchy and crunchy graphics, but it still looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Still looks like Free Space 2 to me.
Going back to the overclock CPU and GPU and stuff in the OG Xbox, I think Digital Foundry did a thing where they went back and they had a overclocked Xbox where it was like instead of 800 megahertz, I think it was up to 1.2 gigahertz or something like that.
Which is almost as fast as my phone.
But they had it on, and the frame rate got way better on the OG Xbox. It was crazy. And I'm like, whoa, dude. But I got a copy on a random eBay lot, and I was like, dude, Half-Life 2 is on the OG Xbox. This was like a couple years ago, and I got it and I started playing it, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of rough, but it runs surprisingly well. Like the load times are like the worst thing.
Oh,
And
the load times were the
are bad,
worst.
but
Well, the difference
it's
between
so
what
crazy
was
they had it
acceptable.
were able to run.
Yeah,
on
I mean the
hardware.
optimization work that they did
Yeah.
for that port was insane.
Think about how
Yeah.
much the modern games and the modern consoles, unfortunately, are just not optimized. They're just chucked out under
Yep.
the "we'll update, fix it." I mean, when
We'll
stuff
fix it.
came out for the Xbox One, it actually had to work,
Yeah.
or it wouldn't sell. You know,
You mean the original Xbox?
either
not
one?
the Xbox
Yeah,
One?
yeah, the one.
One Xbox.
I don't
The
know
one
whose
Xbox.
brilliant idea that was
Yeah,
to
I don't
name
know,
the
man.
like
It's
third,
TV.
fourth
We'll
one.
get to it.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. But yeah, like Knights of the Old Republic, Prince of Persia. As a kid, I played of course, Lego Star Wars. I mean,
Oh yeah.
that's a goat, man.
Yeah.
Especially 2.
Yeah.
2 was the one
Lego
where you're
Star
like,
Wars
whoa.
2.
Yeah.
That was
dope.
another one I bought to play on the 360.
I have that on Steam.
That was a great game.
Even Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which I didn't play much of, was super cool on the OG Xbox. But I played like the Lord of the Rings, Return of the King game, which is still so good.
That's
I love
peak.
it. It's
I
so
have
good.
That's peak.
I have never played that.
That is a really
it's
good
such
one.
a fun hack and slash game, dude.
Yeah.
And dude, Billy, they used a golf engine to make that game.
That doesn't surprise me.
Like a golf, like engines for use for the golfing games
Yeah.
was used to make the Return of the King game.
I don't know.
Like what? No way. I was doing research about
I mean,
it.
swing dynamics, right?
Yeah.
Swing dynamics and
That's true.
impacting the hitbox.
Yeah, the arcing of like
Mm-hmm.
catapults and stuff like that.
I mean, I remember playing that game too. I played the first one I played was the Twin Towers.
yeah, that
Before-
one. Yeah, that was good too.
And I remember there's a scene where there's like a village burning or something like that. And you play, I forget what character you play as, but the I don't know if it was the Urukai or whatever. They like come into the village, and I was like, I'm in Lord of the Rings right now. I remember because I was young, you know, and I was like, oh my God, I'm playing as this character.
Yeah,
like
I'm
it
either
was
Legolas, Gimli, or
mind blowing to me
Aragorn.
that I got to control. Like, because kids nowadays don't really get to like experience that because it was so mind blowing that you got to play as your favorite character in a movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we messed with the movie games. Like I loved the movie games. Going back and playing them now,
Yep.
mostly terrible.
Mostly terrible. Yep.
But as a kid,
Yeah,
it
as a
didn't
kid,
matter.
It didn't matter.
Spider-Man!
Yeah.
Smack.
Yeah.
Oh, Spider-Man died, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Like
Oh,
just
man.
getting to be that character and seeing him in 3D.
What was the game I went back to? Oh, it was the Incredibles game.
Oh,
I
yeah.
played that on
Jeez.
Xbox.
Yeah.
And I went back and I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to replay this. Total ass.
Yeah,
That game
no,
sucked
it's-
so bad.
no.
Yeah, only nostalgia could save that game. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's some good stuff.
Is it the Matrix video game?
The
same
Matrix
thing?
Yeah,
Reloaded.
Matrix.
I played
Or
it and I
whatever it
remember
was.
being like, I'm in the Matrix. And then I was loading it up and I took a look at it and did some like little bit and was like, how did I even play this?
That game, there was
Yeah.
one game that also played like Mad Max and Tomb Raider and Siphon Filter, where you just run around and it was like kind of like the
Well, a lot of them were.
reticle-based
That
and-
was like the default engine. Yeah, I think was it Sony?
Yeah, it's like
for
the-
their properties did that a lot.
That Matrix game's kind of like a Max Payne ripoff almost.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But there was a lot of
But
games.
worse,
like-
somehow less fun and less functional, and you can do less with it. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was like that. I remember playing that on my friend's PS2, and like that was another game that we like got together like we're going to beat this, and we never did.
Yeah.
That game is another thing where just the design of the levels are just utterly incomprehensible.
Yeah. You know what? Another good game for the Xbox coming out, or like the original Xbox, was Medal of Honor.
Oh yeah.
I only
That
had that on
one.
PlayStation.
I'm pretty sure it came out on Xbox.
Did
Am I
it?
wrong?
I have
I
no
might
idea.
have to look that up.
Google.
I'm pretty sure Medal
Somebody
of
grok
Honor.
it.
Yeah.
I got it right here.
I know I have it
think-
on
wasn't
PlayStation. I
it-
still have that PlayStation 1. I have OG.
Because they
Medal
were
of
all on
Honor.
PC. There was Allied Assault on PC. There's a bunch of them on
Front
PC.
Lines. I remember playing Front
Medal of
Lines.
Honor.
I know the original Medal of Honor launched on the PSX, that little like half-size PlayStation, which I still have. I literally have my first version.
Frontline was on
Game.
the OG Xbox.
Yeah, I
Was it-
remember
was
playing
it
Frontline.
Okay.
That was the
Allied-
one I played.
European
Rising Sun.
Assault,
Oh,
European
see, I was thinking
Assault.
first Medal of Honor. I was like, that doesn't.
That's
No, that
about
was
it.
on the PlayStation.
That's what I
yeah.
thought. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember playing because the graphical power of the Xbox was so much more than the PS2.
Oh yeah. No.
I remember we rented from Hollywood Video. We rented. I feel like I'm plugging Hollywood Video, but it doesn't even exist
It's a
anymore.
little late for that, Billy.
But
Too late for a sponsorship.
we
for those.
rented Frontline, and
Guys, run out to your
it's-
local Hollywood Video. See what's there now.
The first scene is storming Normandy Beach, and the troop carrier, the front of the ship falls down, and it's like this craziness. And we played it at night, and
Oh, dang.
we had my uncle had actually given us like a 5 point. It was almost like I think it was close to a 5.1 surround sound thing because he was a big music snob guy, and my brother and my cousin were able to somehow. I mean, this wasn't just a plug and play thing like a
No, you
USB.
had to jerry-rig
You had
it.
to like take the screw and wrap the wire around it and screw that in and whatever. They were able to finagle it so we actually had a subwoofer.
Dang.
So we
On
had
for the Xbox.
I don't think it was 5.1, but
That's
it might as well been in our minds. We were there.
Yeah,
we
you
were
there.
in Normandy.
You were on the beaches of Normandy.
I had PTSD. No, I'm just kidding. But like that was a good
Insert political joke about people claiming they have PTSD here.
one. Yeah. But that was a good series too. Was the Medal of Honor took off on the Xbox. That was before Call of Duty.
Yeah, that was before Call of Duty.
Medal of Honor was kind of paved the way
Yeah, it
for
paved the way.
for Call of Duty.
Yeah, I think it was, Vince Zampella, who recently passed away.
Mhm.
He, I think, worked on Medal of Honor, and then eventually him and that team went on to do the first and second and third, and then all the other Call of Duties.
Yeah. And the
Until,
Call of
like,
Duties
Modern Warfare
were
3 or 2, I think.
moderately historically accurate for the first one.
Yeah.
Like there was the big red one.
Yeah.
That was my favorite one.
That was
I
on
played.
Xbox too. Yeah.
Yeah, because that one was historically accurate about the big red one company.
Hmm.
Yeah, based on
Comparatively.
Based on, yeah.
based on quote unquote.
As much as a small belly can run around screwing things
yeah.
up.
But there was other ones like Black. Did you guys ever play that
I
one?
never did know.
We rented
played.
them. We didn't buy them. We rented them. Friday nights were, we got one game and one movie for us kids. But yeah, Black was fun too. That the
I've seen
bullet
gameplay for that. It looks cool.
the bullet physics. It was one of a kind. Like they actually could ricochet and stuff like that.
That was the big thing with the original Medal of Honor, like the first game, not Xbox, but the first game was you could shoot people in different spots. And I remember when I got the PlayStation, I was so like blown away by shooting people in the foot and watching them hop.
Oh,
Which
dang.
in
Yeah,
hindsight,
that's
kinda
react.
sadistic.
Wow.
The
But I'd be
characters
like,
would react.
oh my God, it matters where I hit them.
Yeah,
That's so cool. What did you guys have any experience with Morrowind on the OG Xbox at all?
I did.
You did.
I
Okay.
did.
What was it like?
Yeah, overwhelming. Because I'd
Same,
never played.
same, yep.
I had never played.
I plugged it in later, and I'm like, well, this is a lot.
It was only later in life that I got into more complex RPGs. 'cause
I remember
that's typically
watching
what
your
I
brother
play.
play that and
Yeah.
being like, I remember watching him and he's like, you want to play it? I'm like, no, no, I do not. I will watch you because he's sitting there,
With his hands.
1,000 hand fingers flying around. And I'm like, what'd you do? 3x combo and I gotta restore my mana while firing this. And I'm just sitting there going, I don't even know what half of what you just said was, but that was when I was younger.
You know,
I've learned, now I
yeah,
know.
I got as far as going out of the port city, and then a dude dropped from wherever and landed and died.
Yeah, that guy.
And then I picked up the scroll, and he was working on a jumping potion. and he had died. And that's as far as I have still to this day gotten. And I have it on PC. And for whatever reason, now it's just so clunky.
Oh, it's super
it's
clunky.
so boxy. I can't play it. But I didn't really get into Morrowind and like complex RPGs with like like stacking, like he was saying, skills and stuff like that. Because until I was in my 20s, yeah, I was more of a Call of Duty basic shooter, adventure platform type guy. Yeah.
Totally off topic. But you know what I saw not too long ago that completely blew me away? Somebody made a mod of Ocarina of Time where you're playing as Link in Morrowind.
That's kind of cool.
Like, is it an emulator or is it just a mod for Morrowind?
Well, it's a mod for
Like a mod almost?
for Ocarina of Time.
Oh, damn.
Oh, so it's like
cool.
a map mod then, kind of.
So yeah, essentially
That's cool.
like all the quests, the map, and everything are styled to be as much like the Morrowind as is possible on the N64.
Yeah.
That's pretty
And
cool.
it's actually pretty impressive, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, also, ever since they kind of rejiggered Ocarina of Time and what's it called? Not reconfigured.
Remastered?
Recompiled.
recompiled.
When they
Yeah.
recompiled it, and now it's like they have a PC port, like officially you can, not officially, obviously,
But
but there's
officially, unofficially.
unofficial, official. Same thing with that in Super Mario 64 as well. They ported Super Mario 64 to the 3DS. And that's where actually I put most of my time into it, was the 3DS in the last like 5 years or so.
And they were like good
Yeah.
recompilations, not like
They were like, yeah, it was like it
not
runs
like
great.
what happened with Halo.
No, it ran. Yeah, because Halo's. It was a mod for Quake that you could play on the DS and 3DS. It's like, okay.
Quake was a good one too.
Dude, Quake. Well, that's definitely not Xbox, but Quake 3 Arena was where I cut my teeth on FPS
Ooh,
games. That was
man.
the
That's a
first
great one to do
first-person
it, too.
shooter.
Yeah.
Was Quake 3
I played
Arena.
a ton of offline like CPU.
My father
fights.
worked worked for the college.
Uh-huh.
And so when I got off of school, I would have to wait until he got off work if my car was broken, which, let's be honest, not a non-zero sum. And so I would go there, and that was like one of 2 games that the computers at his work had. And so I would, until they put the arcade in the basement, then that was amazing. So I got free gameplay forever. But that was one of the games I would play, is I'd just sit there playing Quake 3 Arena on like an iMac, like the old bubble iMac.
Dang.
And it played it, and I was like, oh, dude, these Mac things are great. Like, then they ruined them immediately after that.
Yeah.
But that one iMac was just amazing because I was playing Quake 3 Arena, and I didn't know like that those, and because it was a sales model demo, it had all the features. So it had all the speakers and a chair that vibrated and like the handset vibrated and everything. And definitely not an Xbox, but like a just complete like pinnacle gaming, smaller child.
Didn't the
moment.
original Xbox controller have memory card things in the controller?
No.
Was it the
It
Mac?
had something you could plug into it, but I don't know what.
Well,
Yeah,
he
there
had
was
a
like 2
microphone.
ports. There was
I
2
think you're
ports in the
thinking
back.
I think you're thinking of the
Keyboard.
Dreamcast. It had
the
a
Dreamcast had
memory
little
cards
like
on the
memory
controllers.
card. And then
Huh.
The Rumble Pack was in the N64. They had something you could put in the.
There was something you
Xbox.
could plug into the back.
I think
or
it
the
was
front.
like.
The Xbox had a keyboard.
Well, no, I think it was also like a mic interface or something like
That's
that.
was
No,
it?
there's a microphone port, and next to it slash around it
Oh.
is a keyboard port, and there was literally a tiny
Huh.
keyboard that you put there,
Oh, really?
and you could type theoretically with your thumbs, and everybody thought that was moment in time for you. Everyone thought that was just the stupidest thing possible to try, because who would want to type with their thumbs and hold their hands apart facing each other and just use their thumbs to type? Like, what kind of an idiot would do that?
Yeah, who would do that?
Yeah, right. Look over at Billy typing
Going
into Google
back
right
to
now.
movie tie-in games, oh shit, I just had it. What was it? The Star Wars The Clone Wars game was great. Cars was awesome.
Ours was Battlefront.
Battlefront, dude, that's the game for
Battlefront.
me. Is Battlefront 2
yeah.
specifically.
we gotta
There was also
play
Star
that.
Wars
That
Demolition. Did you ever play that one?
Demolition.
Demolition?
No.
Was it Star Wars Demolition?
I've never even
Never
heard
of that.
That was
No.
almost like a.
That sounds dope.
I remember it as like a twisted metal type game.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. The Clone Wars game.
Oh, is that the Clone
Yeah,
Wars
where you're in the
game?
vehicles and stuff. And
Yeah.
you're just the vehicles and.
I thought
and
that-
I've never
I thought it
heard
was
of this,
called
but
the-
this sounds cool.
it's super interesting. It's like
I love Twisted
you just
Metal.
play as like the tanks and stuff, and you're roaming around through the levels and stuff. Like you're Mace Windu in a tank with your other guy, and you're trying to get to the end of the level. And then like there's
So it's like the
flying
Warthog levels.
Yeah, but you're not getting in and out. You're
Ah.
just the tank, or you're just the
So the last Warthog level.
Yeah.
basically.
You reminded me of
Demolition?
Battlefront.
I was actually able to find it. So there was a memory
Oh, here we
card you
go.
could get for the back of the
I stand
controller?
controller.
and
Huh.
see the feature of that was that you could take your saves.
I don't
because
remember
it
that.
automatically
Yeah, you
had
could
a hard
take it
drive.
with you.
Oh, to
You
other
could take
people.
Oh,
your
you can
saves to
transfer
other
your
people's-
saves.
Yeah.
That's
I remember.
cool.
I remember taking the save with
Because
me
I
because
had Mad Cat's Xbox things, and I'd go over to my cousin's house and plug it in, and we'd leave it
That's
off.
Dude, I don't remember that
Cool.
at all, but I absolutely, now that you mentioned, I had one of those because I didn't own an Xbox. And so to switch between Jimbo's Xbox and Russell's or whatever,
Oh, okay.
like I originally played with Russell's, but I wanted to keep my saves.
Yeah.
And then later I met your brother, and like I used that same stick to go between that and like Ben and other people's Xbox when we were at the LAN party.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Well,
you
how
just
do I not
transfer your
remember
saves.
that?
That's so dope.
And then,
Dude,
yeah.
memory's such a funny
Sorry,
thing.
David, go for
Sorry,
it.
go ahead.
Battlefront.
Yeah,
Battlefront.
you reminded me. Battlefront 2 was the only other OG Xbox game that I actually played on the OG Xbox itself.
Mm.
It was Halo 2 and Battlefront 2, and those were both just LAN party fare, hanging out with Thad and all the rest of the youth group crew. Yeah, lots of fun doing that.
Yeah,
That's-
I remember just vivid memories of Battlefront 2. That's the one me and Thad could play together, besides like Fusion Frenzy and stuff.
That's the one our youth
That's the
group was
one we would
allowed.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like my mom would walk by the because there's the hallway next to the back room, the game room or whatever. And she's like, "Hope there's no blood in that game." And Thad would say, "No, Mom, just violence." As we were like taking over the CIS or the clone troopers or the Empire or stuff like that. And dude, even though the campaign, looking back on it now, it's so primitive and very
Conquest
railroady.
was so fun.
but
It's not
I actually
good.
never got into Conquest, but I would just play like the story mode over and over.
You
and just
still remember the
action.
sound like beep 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 beep.
Yep.
boop, 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 boop,
Yep.
bloop, bloop.
So, dude, and like just the massive battles you could have, the split screen co-op and competitive was just
I just downloaded
so
it
much fun.
back to my Steam Deck, which shows
Yeah,
you
how
where
does
I've
it run
ended
on
up.
Steam Deck? Pretty.
I don't know
Like,
because
no
we
issues?
haven't played it yet. I
Yeah.
just downloaded
Okay.
it again because I bought it before the LAN party. We never made it off of Halo, which shows you how good Halo still is.
That's
we were
how good
playing
it is,
Reach,
yep.
Yeah.
and we just
That's most of the LAN parties we
eight
have.
and a half, almost 12 hours at the end of it, and no one had even thought of something besides
Different.
Reach, just
Yeah.
different levels. But
Yeah, it'll
Yeah.
be. We'll play like 3 to 4 hours of Halo, and then I'm like, all right, everybody, take a break, play what you want, and then some people like hop on whatever.
That's
or
fun.
Me on Half-Life
That's
or
cool.
something, and then like Gang Beasts or whatever.
Yeah.
But like
King Beast is
some of
one
us
to
are
really-
like, we kind of want to go back to Halo.
Yeah.
Like, let's do
Yeah.
co-op ODST or something, man. Like that'd be fun.
I want to do Void Crew next.
I
that's-
was wrong. I was right about the controller, but I was wrong about Star Wars Demolition. That was on the PS1.
Oh, storage demolition.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars Demolition was on the
Never
PS1.
heard of that game.
So
You-
it was
you
like
know,
a
you show
Twisted
up-
Metal
Huh.
type arena shooter type
You
thing.
show up wearing a shirt for a game that's only available on PlayStation, and then proceed to bring up
Well,
PlayStation.
you know.
So that's the guy
we'll
who's
have
just
you
talking
hold
about
the
Steam Deck.
console in
Yeah.
front of it. 'cause that's
Yeah,
what the thumbnail's gonna be.
exactly.
We'll do that because I think I have every single thing except for the series consoles, so we should be good there. All right. Any other last games to want to talk? You guys want to talk about for the OG Xbox?
One last one for Star Wars. Star Wars Republic Commando.
Oh, thank you
yes.
so much for
Banger.
bringing
Oh,
I
Republic
forgot about
Commando
that.
up.
Yes.
Banger.
Very- was that the
Dude.
original or was that 360?
It was original.
Was that
It
original
was
too?
It was
dude.
original.
I have such a hard
That
time
game
remembering
is
which game
such-
is in which because I didn't play most of those
That was
on the
like
original. I
Call
played
of
them all on
Duty.
360 with the retro.
It was Call of Duty before Call
It
of
was
Duty.
Call of Duty
Yeah.
Star Wars edition.
It was so
It
dope,
was
man.
so amazing.
It was.
I mean, that
like-
was essentially
oh, man.
like Ghost Recon, but
Yes.
Star
yeah,
Wars.
Yeah,
Thank you, David.
exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
And like you had,
Good
I remember the
game.
guys' names. You had, of course, the top guy, which actually I don't remember his name. I think it's just Chief or
Nice
Sergeant.
job. That
Huh?
was the best sales point. I remember all their names.
I remember all the names.
I don't know
Nope,
their
never mind.
names,
but like
they
Sev,
were
Fixer, Scorch. I remember those
80% of the
three.
time,
Your
he's right
teammates.
100% of the time.
Exactly. But dude, yeah, Republic Commando, the story.
Oh,
the
that was an
levels,
amazing story
Dude.
too.
And the fact that LucasArts never revisited it.
Yeah,
such a
they just
shame.
left it. They just
They
hung it
just-
out.
Somebody,
Yeah.
I think I saw not too long ago that somebody was actually working by themselves on a remaster, but I think they got a cease and
Oh.
desist.
I was gonna
Yeah, I'd
say.
imagine. I remember
Knowing who
seeing-
owns
yeah.
that property now, I bet they didn't finish it.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about because on YouTube there's somebody recreated the entire intro, and it's beautiful. Like it's in like
Oh, it's
Unreal Engine
amazing.
4, I believe, or something like that.
You
and it
gotta
was
send that to me so I can
awesome.
see it.
It's so dope. But yeah, Republic Commando, what a game!
Ooh, another one. Sorry, I was looking it up because I just played so many games. The Chronicles of Riddick.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Escape from Butcher
Yeah,
Bay.
Butcher
Escape from
Bay.
Butcher Bay. That was the best graphics I'd ever seen in my life.
Never
that's
played
crazy.
That was impressive for the Xbox.
Did it follow the plot line of the movie or?
No,
It
no.
was it was
separate-
canon,
Yeah.
but it was
totally
in his
separate.
time in Butcher Bay.
Kind of like Tron 2.
It was like a
kind of, yeah.
prequel. It was like a
canon
prequel
follow-up.
to the movies,
Yeah.
essentially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, because basically Riddick was a convict who was being transported from one prison to another in that original movie.
Right.
So this basically detailed his time in prison.
Oh.
Yeah, you can get those. Those run really good on modern systems if you get them on GOG. There's two of them. There's the one you were talking about, Butcher Bay, and then there's Assault on Dark Athena. I think those are one on the
Yeah.
360.
Well, that's actually like a like an expansion or something.
Oh, is it an
of-
expansion?
of Butcher Bay,
Oh.
if I remember
I
correctly.
thought it was entirely. Like
It's not a.
sequel.
I don't think it's a sequel.
Whoa,
I think
okay.
it's like an
Oh.
expansion of Butcher Bay.
Mm.
Yeah, and they're like kind of like, what are they called?
They're like stealth games.
What is it? Like what Deus Ex is? What do they call those?
Oh, immersive sim.
Immersive sim. Yeah,
they're
it's kind of
kinda
like
immersive sim-y.
it's kind of like baby's
Yeah.
first immersive sim.
Yeah, and like you're sneaking around.
I'll have to look into that.
It's really interesting. I think I remember started playing the first one on.
I'll have to
GOG.
revisit it and then judge you
It's cool.
accordingly.
I've
It's-
never
it's really
played.
interesting.
I've never played it myself, but I've seen footage of it,
Yeah.
and it looks
It looks
like
amazing.
for the time, it
Yeah.
looks like very. It looks very ahead of its time.
Yeah, 'cause it was, I
basically.
think
Have
it
you
was
guys-
04.
Well, talking about
Or
games that are
05.
ahead about their time and seeing as we're down a pit hole sideways anyway, have you guys seen Free Space 2? Have you ever played Free Space 2?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
You need to look up Free Space 2.
Free Space 2?
I will tout on about how awesome that game is. Well past. It came out in like 1994, the original, and again in 97 or 98 for the full version for Windows. I don't think it ever released on a console to my knowledge, but it had such absolutely astounding gameplay. I was rewatching it on Steam because they released it on Steam where you can buy it for all of like 10 or 12 bucks.
Hmm.
And
$24.99.
Oh, is
Dang,
it really?
That's expensive.
Wow, never mind there then. But I spent countless hours. That was the other game that was on those iMacs was
Oh.
Quake 3 Arena and Free Space 2.
Mm.
And that game's graphics look like, I mean, by today's graphics, they look like polygons floating in space. But you got for late 90s, that game looks
Oh.
like it's from the early 2000s, easy. And what's funny is the intro video is actual gameplay. It's not like some sort of other render. When you play the game, if you have a good enough computer for the time, it looked like that actual intro that you are probably
Yeah, the
watching
gameplay
now.
I'm looking at just screenshots, but it looks like Metroid Prime but it's in 1997.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy.
Yeah, and here's the best part. How you do in the battles affects the campaign. It's a
Oh,
choose your
really?
own adventure campaign. If you do really well, you get promoted. If you don't, you go backwards. And you can choose to accept or decline different squadrons that take you to different battles in universe in the game. So almost no two playthroughs, unless you happen to kill the same number of people and do the exact same thing, are the same. You end up in different locations with different squadron mates, and all of them have little scripted AI for different character models and stuff. And it's ludicrously immersive and expansive for a late 90s game. I have no
Interesting.
idea how that franchise didn't continue. It's by Interplay. They're gone now. That
Yeah.
might be part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was like Interplay Studios. And I mean, if you think about Quake 3 and then you look at those pictures, Quake
Yeah.
3 doesn't look as good as that
Oh,
does.
no,
And Quake
not
3
near
is like
enough,
7
yeah.
years newer.
And the cool thing about Butcher Bay is it's the same guys that went on to do Raven Software
Oh, nice.
that
Oh.
made like Singularity,
Mhm.
and then they went on to do, and then those guys, the team that also did Butcher Bay went on to do the new Wolfenstein games,
Mhm.
the more modern ones.
Oh.
So that's why there's a bit of DNA from,
Yeah.
like if you play those games, they're
Yeah,
kind of
I've
similar
played
to
'em.
the Riddick games.
Bit like
Yeah.
playing
A little bit.
Marathon before playing.
yeah,
Hitman.
it's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it's got those kind of micro quest type
Yeah.
deals going
Well, even
on.
like just the way the hands are here and that kind
Yeah.
of thing. Kind of like the Indiana Jones game that
Yeah. I haven't played that one. I have it. I bought it and I have
Lego
not played
Indiana
Circle?
Jones. Oh.
Yeah, but what's the guys that made it? They also did the new Wolfenstein games. Machine Games.
Machine Games.
Yeah, it's kind of like that's when Indiana Jones came out last year or so, that's what they compared it to was the Riddick games.
Mm.
Because it's kind of immersive simi a little bit.
By the way, just a side comment. Troy Baker did an amazing Harrison
Holy
Ford
crap, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
impression.
amazing.
Amazing.
Holy crap.
He didn't even know he could do that, and then but he said,
Yeah, they has interviews of him like, yeah, we just kept working on it.
yeah, and he's like, I just loved Star Wars and Indiana Jones growing up, so he's like, I actually kind of started practicing as a kid.
Mm.
You know?
Dang, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's so dope. Speaking of Indiana Jones, the Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb on OG Xbox.
Yeah.
I think it was also on PS2. That game was cool. I liked it. It was kind of like Uncharted before Uncharted. Speaking of Uncharted games that aren't Uncharted, Pitfall Harry and the Lost Expedition was this like kids reinterpretation of the Pitfall game from like way long ago on the Atari.
Which is really funny because Pitfall, the original, was supposed to be like basically an Indiana Jones game
Yeah.
without the Indiana Jones license.
Yeah.
A little
it's
bit like Dangerous Dave.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's cool if you go look up Pitfall: The Lost Expedition. They re-released it on Wii with motion controls, which sucked, but it was a really fun like kids romp about just Pitfall Harry, and you get it's kind of like a Metroidvania but 3D, where you're getting your stuff and you're going back to areas you visit. You have now the fast running shoes, so you can go back and run across the lava at different areas. You have for some reason, you can breathe in water for this one area, so now you can go and explore this whole area now. So that kind of stuff. So it's really cool stuff.
What I miss about those old games is there was certain games that would put you in that era, and each section of the game had you doing something completely and vastly different. Like one game that comes to my mind, and I was not supposed to be playing this, but it had a cute squirrel in the front.
Oh no,
Oh,
Conquer!
God.
Yeah, Conquer
Oh,
Live and
no.
Reloaded. But my mom thought it was just a cute game.
Oh no!
And I think that's how most people in my age group
Yep.
bracket played that game. Was because it had a squirrel on it, and she's like, "How bad could it be?"
Very.
man.
The
But
answer's very.
But that style is really what I'm getting at. Is like there was each section you were doing a different. Essentially, it was a different video game.
Yeah,
And
mechanic and
the
stuff,
last
yeah.
game I played that's more modern that did that was It Takes Two.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It Takes Two had that modular setup where there was like a flying portion and then your underwater portion, and then
I actually forgot about that game. That
Yeah.
was a remake of Conker's Bad Fur Day on the N64.
Was it really?
yeah,
Yeah,
Conquer Live
which is
Reloaded.
Yeah.
it's just crazy to think about, like how basically during that time period, Microsoft was making use of the fact that they owned Rare now and not Nintendo,
Yeah.
Yeah.
bringing back all those old properties.
That modularity of those games, I just loved that so much. Playing It Takes Two just brought me back to a kid because there was just those, and then there was a surfing section. There was always a surfing section.
And you played that with your girlfriend, right?
No, I played that with my friend.
Yeah, no.
I should have played that with my girlfriend at the time, but but I just missed that so much because I think there was another one that was kind of like that. It was more like
the one that same company that did A Way Out.
A
which
Way
was,
Out.
yeah, there's that, and then
They have a new one out.
Split Fiction. Yeah,
Split Fiction.
It looks really
Oh,
good.
I haven't played that one
yeah,
yet.
that came out last year. It looks really great.
Yeah.
I
Actually.
was debating playing that. I've been staring at it going, not
I
feel
sure,
like we
do
maybe.
When that came out last year, I was hearing people talk about it, and there was like, dude, early game of the year contender. I'm like, seriously? And they're like, it's that good. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
interesting.
they're really good.
Yeah.
That company too. I don't know which one it is, but they're like really dead set on bringing games back to just being fun.
Yeah,
I saw an interview with them and they were talking
yeah.
about that.
Yosef Ferris is a guy.
He's like, I just
cool.
wanted it to be good fun to like play. He's like, that's why he brought back cooperative games.
Yeah,
Local plays.
and you could do like the friend pass and stuff.
Yeah.
Your buddy doesn't have to pay for it.
yeah,
That's
you could
cool.
do split screen. you
Yeah,
know?
split screen. Yeah.
Yeah, which Halo got rid of.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that's the thing that needs to be brought back.
Yeah.
split screen is so cool.
Do they not have split screen in like Infinite?
No.
Nope. They wanted the frame rate, and so
Yeah,
They
they didn't even
were
bring out.
playing
I don't know if they ever did. They never brought back co-op.
no, they didn't.
There's a
No.
multiplayer for
Yeah,
Infinite.
but you can't play
You can't
co-op,
do co-op
in campaign.
at all.
Which
So
is
like the multiplayer doesn't even have campaign?
no.
I haven't, obviously I've played Infinite. No.
well,
No.
it's
They have little mini
they're-
stories.
They made it for the game, but you can't access it unless you like put in console.
Is that like the seasons?
Then
Yeah.
you can like if you hack the game, you can do split screen co-op
Just
on the console.
utterly ridiculous.
But it's crazy.
That's what Halo. I mean, I
it's
literally
like the
bought
seasons,
every
right?
Halo game, like up to Guardians, and we'd always play Legendary. There's always be 4 of us stacked
Yeah.
in a squad, and we'd always try to get through Legendary playthroughs.
Yeah.
And then Infinite, I just played it alone in my room, and it was super sad.
yeah.
Yeah.
I tried to
I
play
want
that.
this for nostalgia baiting. What the heck, guys?
Getting off topic here, but the crazy part was that game was almost built to have 4 people running around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, crazy. But I feel like we do some disservice to some really other good original Xbox games. Like there's the Ghost Recons.
Yeah, the Ghost Recon
Any of the Tom
games.
Clancy's, Splinter Cells.
Cell. Yeah,
Splinter
those were
Cells,
good.
like Chaos Theory,
Sims.
had such good graphics.
Chaos Theory, yes.
Had such, and Double Agent.
Oh yeah.
Those games had such good graphics. It was insanity.
I do want to briefly touch on, speaking of like just random stuff for a period of time or for the era that it was. There was Dance Dance Revolution
Yeah.
and Karaoke Revolution. We had that. We had the dance pad growing up.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. And it was a good time. It was a good time, just random 2000 ass songs, man. It was a time to be alive. But that's where I heard the song Istanbul.
Not
Not Constantinople. Okay. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, this song's a banger. Like, yeah. And then like,
I don't know about these guys, but they might be
that's
giants.
the one song. Yeah. But that and then Karaoke Revolution was fine. There was some cool stuff there. But,
you talk about random accessories. Guitar Hero and Rock Band are really.
Well, let's actually get into that.
I'm sorry,
era.
we're way ahead.
Let's get into that era.
Behind,
last call for OG Xbox games.
I think I hit the one.
I think we've pretty much exhausted it.
Stuff I want to play is like Voodoo
Exhausted
Vince and Gladius, which is like a BioWare RPG. Looked cool. And also, there's 2 Evil Dead games that they made for OG Xbox.
Really?
They
that
did?
I found randomly at a game store.
What?
And I'm like,
I didn't know
excuse me,
that.
what? These look kind of cool. And I want to play.
Are they just generic or plotline?
The first one looks
or?
generic. The second one's like made for co-op and it has way better graphics. Like you have a little demon buddy that helps you out, stuff like that. It looks cool.
One more honorable mention, and that's the King Kong movie video game with Jack Black.
Oh, I never played that. It was good.
No.
Honorable mention, not good mention.
It honestly wasn't that
Dishonorable
bad.
mention. All right, boys, let's get into the 360, the Xbox 360. Xbox was like, hey, yeah, it was quick. We had 18 months. Now we have a couple more years to make the next console. So we'll do 05. Skip it a year, or let's jump forward a year. No, that's okay. Jump.
Math
What's
is
the
hard.
terminology? They beat Sony to the market is what I'm getting at. A year early, at a very heavy price, though. It cost them a lot of money because there's a lot of red rings for the design.
That whole overheating red ring thing, not great.
No.
From what I hear, having never experienced that.
Yeah, I remember buying a couple 360s. Well, a couple. I remember buying some 360s for a LAN party I was going to do, and I did it. But then later on, 2 of the 360s red ringed. I'm like, no, are you serious? Just from random eBay
The
sales.
360 was the first console.
And they were both elite consoles.
Yeah, it was the first.
S.
The
Slims.
S?
They were the Slims.
Yeah, so I was gonna say the Slim was the first console that I ever paid for with my own money. Not like I mowed some lawn and people took pity on me for 50 cents.
Job
kind of thing,
money, like
but my
big boy
first
money.
actual job money, and I got out of boot camp because I hadn't bought a console until literally there's like a 10-year gap there. I got out of boot camp and was like, I have spending money. What am I going to blow it on? I don't know. What can you do sitting in a barracks room waiting for Hurricane Katrina because they had to rebuild the barracks.
Oh, dang.
Gonna date that right there.
Yeah.
And I was like, what can I do sitting in a room for 6 hours a day? I know, I'll play some video games. And I went and got an Xbox 360 Slim from the exchange on base. And I still have that one. It's never red ringed because I bought every cooling accessory because I had heard I had watched Billy's older brother. Yes, I had watched Billy's older brother toast like 3 of them from on the carpet.
Oh yeah, don't do that.
And he'd be like, gee, they're really hot. And then like 5 days later, oh, it's broken. I don't know what happened. And I'm like, maybe 2 days ago you said it was really hot and then kept playing for 6 hours after that. That probably might have had something to do
He
with it.
eventually went on to get all those cool. That console had some cool accessories
It did,
to clip onto the back.
Yeah, the 360, not the Slim, but the normal one.
The normal
yeah.
one had like a
Chunk,
cooling
360
fan.
chunk.
And then there was like the online high-speed module that you like click
And
then
the
click.
double hard drive set. So you could have a hard drive with a plug for another
I
hard
never saw the
drive.
hard drive one.
Yeah.
I've seen the fans before.
Because it came with, I'm pretty sure it didn't come with a hard. Did they? The original ones
I
come
think
with a hard drive?
You had
I
a
don't remember.
you had a
A
premium
sort of,
model
yeah.
that came with a hard drive.
Was it 500 gigabytes or something?
No,
like
no,
that?
no,
it was like
no,
20.
no,
it was like
30.
20.
Yeah,
Oh,
20.
Yeah, no.
And then premium was 40, I think.
See,
No.
No.
The base model
The base
didn't come
was-
with a
the
hard
base
drive
didn't
at all.
come. Yeah.
It had like internal storage, like memory card, like megabytes worth of internal storage.
And it was
that
assumed
it.
you'd play online, and if you wanted to save anything, you'd have to delete something else to save your
and
progress.
then, very shortly after they came out with the launch version of it, they came out with a new version that had like a 60 gig hard drive or something like that.
I think
but the very first
360
one was a 20 gig.
Was it that small? I always thought it was small, bigger than that, but that makes sense for the time.
How much were the hard drives at the time to buy separately? Were they like $50 or
I don't know.
like a 20 gig? Hey, I need to buy a 20 gig hard drive.
Can't imagine they were cheap.
I don't. They weren't that expensive because I
you guys didn't
remember
have
I
one,
bought
so
a
it couldn't have been
360
cheap.
without a hard drive, and then I was like, and then when I realized, you could store more than just games save files on it, like rip music and stuff. It's like, oh, I need more space, so I went out and bought a hard drive for it.
That was the time of LimeWire.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But I don't remember how much it
Crosswire.
was.
Napster.
I think it was only like 40 or 50 bucks, something like that.
No, that's not bad.
Really? That's
Yeah,
not too
not
bad.
bad.
I mean, in
Yeah,
that
that's like
money, that's like
$100
$100 now.
nowadays.
Yeah.
It's like $100 nowadays, David. It's a
I
lot of
could be
money.
misremembering it, but it can't have been that much because I bought it and I
Yeah.
did not have a lot of money at the time.
I remember seeing the first time I remember seeing the 360 showcase was I think it was in a Walmart display case, and they had Call of Duty 3. I think it was 3,
Yeah, 3 came out in launch.
and that was the launch game. And then, dude, I remember seeing the graphics and just being. I was like, "There's no way that the graphics get better than this."
Yeah.
I remember having a
The
conversation with my
number of
brother.
times I've thought that.
Like, there's
Like,
absolutely
it's-
no way the
This is the
graphics
most
can get
realistic
better.
they can ever be.
Yeah, I'm like, it would be real life other than that.
Yeah.
yeah.
And that, my friend, is how people watched Godzilla in the 50s and went, oh my God, there's a real Godzilla on screen.
Yeah.
It's the same phenomenon of,
Yeah.
oh, gee.
Or fainting in the
This is the
theater
best it
from
can ever
watching
be.
Phantom of the Opera.
Exactly,
It's like,
yeah.
oh, his face, he's so ugly.
But
And
so
then they
we-
just faint.
We got the bundle, and I think it came with the Quake 4 come out with that too.
Yeah, Quake
Yeah.
4,
Quake
Call
4,
of Duty 3.
Call of Duty 3. We got
It
those
wasn't
two.
3, it was 2.
Was it?
2
2?
was the launch title for the
Was it 2?
360
I
because
don't remember.
3 came out later. Because I remember I played 2
You're
a
right.
lot.
You're right. It was 2.
I played 2 a lot. Like the first level when you're on, just basically dropped in the beaches of Normandy.
Yeah.
Like that was mind blowing.
Yeah.
Like no game that I'd ever played had ever looked like that or sounded like that.
Crazy. The sound itself.
Sound design.
Sound design itself was incredible because that's what they touted too, was that it could run off the news like
Well, written Dolby.
Dolby.
Yeah, it had Dolby,
Dolby.
surround instead of
Yeah.
stereo and mock stereo with a sub
Yeah,
thing.
because
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, the Xbox 360 had the new connection, so it wasn't just red, yellow, and white. It was the blue, green.
Yeah, it had the,
Yeah, it
the
did-
component.
component
Component
instead of just the yellow
RGA.
analog. Yeah.
All right, so the launch
Or
lineup for
CA,
the
but
360 was Amped 3, Call of Duty 2, Condemned Criminal Origins, which I actually
Oh, that was
have
a good one
copy.
too.
FIFA 6, Gun, Cameo, Madden 06, NBA 2K6,
a full
NBA Live
lineup.
6, NHL, Need for Speed Most Wanted, Perfect Dark Zero,
Need for Speed.
Project Gotham Racing 3, the King Kong game,
No.
Quake 4, Ridge Racer 6, a Tiger Woods game, and Tony Hawk American Wasteland.
Oh, you mentioned Cameo. That's another game I had
That's
for
a
the
launch
360 that was so criminally underrated.
Mhm.
Like it
Oh, yeah?
flopped hard, got really bad reviews, but I love that game. Cameo Elements of Power. It's by Rare.
Yeah.
It was one of the first earlier titles for Microsoft that Rare did, because obviously they did the Conquer remake for the OG Xbox before that, but like Cameo Elements of Power I think was the first new Rare game for Microsoft, and like I remember it was cool because it had like these huge like battle scenes where there was like over 100 enemies on screen at once. And I was like, whoa.
That's cool. What do you guys remember when you first got your 360? Charles, what did you play when you got that sucker on base?
Oh, I want to say it was one of the Grand Theft Auto games.
Oh, yeah?
And then, like I said, I bought all the OG. Most of my experience with the OG Xbox One, dang it. First Xbox, not Xbox One. Dang you designers.
Yeah.
Most of my experience with those games came from either Russell, but I was mostly Halo and GTA. Everything else I played, like Battlefront and all those, all came after I bought my 360 because it had that backwards compatibility feature, which was like the best thing ever because being still cheap, I went into the GameStop and went, what's the least expensive things you have? And of course, the 360 had just launched the slim model that theoretically doesn't light on fire or red ring or anything like that. And theoretically. And so they had all the Xbox original games were like super cheap. And so I just bought like 15, 20 games and it was all those old classics we've been talking about the whole time. So most of my experience with those came physically on the 360, even though they were OG games, with the exception of Halo and GTA. But I've always thought the 360 was interesting because it's a great example of making a product really fast, then trying to fix it by slamming accessories at it, and then suddenly and abruptly just abandoning that entire concept and switching gears to the slim model. And I always thought that was just such a weird thing to look at because I remember your brother talking about trying to get all the accessories and stuff. And being like,
so many.
I'm going to get every accessory for it. Then by the time like I was getting out of boot camp, I was like, hey, how goes it? And he goes, oh, they don't make them anymore. I'm like, that was like 6 months ago. And he's like, yeah, they have the slim now. It's kind of dumb. And I was like, oh, I bought that. He's like, mine overheats. That one's definitely going to overheat. And I'm like, half of this thing's made of fins, bro. Like, it's just empty.
But yeah, speaking of accessories for the 360, remember the whole Microsoft's whole flirtation with HD DVDs?
Yeah.
So, and you had to buy a separate HD DVD player for your like attachment for your 360.
Wasn't it a whole disk drive or something like that?
Yeah,
It was a whole disk drive.
Yeah. I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah, I remember seeing it online, like in just videos afterward. I'm like,
Yeah.
they made this for the 360? So, Charles, you wrote a note down here.
Oh,
when
gee,
wrote,
did I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, I wrote down two things: Connect and HD DVD. And you wrote down on HD DVD is the best, beats Blu-ray hands down. Most Blu-ray players are only 1080p.
That's because it's
Defend the HD
completely
DVD,
true.
my good sir.
Why
should have they gone there instead of Sony's Blu-ray?
Well, because first of all, Sony Blu-ray is owned by Sony, which means everything that they do has to go through Sony, which means Sony has to get a pay point, which is why every Blu-ray is more expensive. Now, not so much, but every Blu-ray is more expensive than HD DVDs because HD DVD was not owned by a specific corporation, but rather a conglomeration of corporations. So the buy-in cost was much cheaper, similar to Betamax and VHS, right? The buy-in to Blu-ray required you to pay Sony specifically. Further than that, if you look, and this is a frustration that I was not as aware of at the time, and I'm more of aware of now, is the fact that Blu-rays are 1080p. Because every Blu-ray, and man, I wish we had a camera because Billy's gawking face is wonderful in this because I'm not sure how much attention he's been paying to. We go to thrift stores. I refuse to pay for new stuff 90% of the time because I'm poor. And also, if it works, and it's $3.
Yeah.
So Blu-ray players, I've constantly been going to Goodwill and Thrifty Bargain and all the other stores and flipping Blu-ray players over, Googling and saying, nope, too low, and throwing it back. For months now. Did you not know why I was doing that?
No.
Oh, cool.
You just want a Blu-ray player?
You're just like looking at it. I have been trying to find a Blu-ray player that is higher than 1080p for almost 2 years at a thrift store. And the problem is all the ones that are higher than that are extremely expensive and they still work. For two reasons. One, did you know original HDMI is not physically capable of higher than 1080p? So it doesn't matter if your fancy Blu-ray says 4K, 8K, 1000K all over it. The cable connecting it to your 4K, 1000K TV can only transmit at 1080p. Kind of a design flaw. You need HDMI 2.0 or a DisplayPort cable. And of course, we all know DisplayPort took years to actually be the port. It kind of had to slowly come in. So all of those old Blu-ray players that port being able to play 4K are just flat out lying, and you have to flip them over and read the little tag on the bottom that says, this Blu-ray player only outputs in 1080p, max resolution 1080p, supported resolution 1080p, or upscale to 4K.
So you're trying to find a 4K Blu-ray player.
So I was trying to find
at
an actual 4K. Yes.
Yeah,
I will eventually.
Cause,
I will
buddy.
eventually.
I mean, trying to find a 4K Blu-ray player that's not an Xbox or a
Yes.
or a PlayStation nowadays is a lost
It's
cause.
really hard, yeah.
Yep.
But my theory was I had gone into this thinking all of those old Blu-ray players are now really cheap. And I see a dozen every time I go, and not a single dang one of them has HDMI 2.0 or plays it at the, and the ones that do, same thing, upscale to 4K. It's not actual 4K.
Yeah.
You know what always can play and has been able to play in 4K the whole time because it doesn't use HDMI 1.0, never has?
Xbox 360 HD.
Yeah,
Yeah.
HD DVD.
Dang.
You think
really?
you're kidding. It used DisplayPort. The HD DVD videos used DisplayPort or HDMI 2.0 when they came over. Now, I'm sure there's exceptions. If you go looking through Walmart, you could probably find one that fits the
well,
same.
it's what? It's DisplayPort 1.2.
It's
is what
something-
you're thinking about.
Yeah, something like that. There's a line
1.4
there.
is the 8K one.
There you go. Yeah, there's a line there. But they at least, when started, that was their whole thing. And somehow Blu-ray got like promoted themselves into being, we
Yeah.
have so much better resolution.
Yeah.
But it's a bloomin' lie. It's physically impossible.
Well, I think one thing, I don't think it was the resolution that people were looking to when they made when the market chose
Billy was.
Blu-ray.
Look at his face.
It was
He's in awe.
it was implementation first and foremost. Like Microsoft's rollout of HD DVD was terrible.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Like the fact that they made a separate disk drive
Yeah, I don't know what the
that you
thought
had
was.
to attach to your 360 when the PS3 could just play Blu-rays was ridiculous. And then on top of that, HD DVDs had like half the storage space of Blu-rays.
Yeah, there was
Well,
less storage.
you know why? You know why they had half the storage space? Because they
They're
were
higher
actually
quality.
in full resolution. That's the thing, is people are like, oh, a Blu-ray plays the same amount of storage. I'm like, so if it's a bit rate that's encoded in bits, how can it have a higher and still have the same resolution of the disc? Physics disagrees with the thing you're saying.
The one thing I will
Yeah.
say about your arguments here is that, and this is just because it's the way it is, is because on Blu-rays, whether you watch a Blu-ray player with regular HDMI or HDMI 2.0, if it's just a regular Blu-ray, most of the transfers from film are not 1080p. They're 1440p. They're actually 2K.
Yeah, 2K, yeah.
But you can't access the highest resolution because it's 1080p. However, it's still the 2K transfer.
Yes, that's
so you're
true.
going to get a better quality even if you do stream it.
And that's true.
Yeah.
And also the second part is the upscaling works really well because it's sending the data of 2K over a cable that's not capable of actually playing the 2K. So it sends the data, does some weird upscaling, and makes magic happen. So I'm not saying they look bad by any means. I'm just frustrated
HD
that
DVD though.
Yeah, I'm just frustrated that Blu-ray has gone through 1,000 steps sideways to try to sidestep a blatant lie when HD DVD could have just done it correctly from if they'd have just stood there and gone, hey, we're going to include this in every Xbox now. And by the way, you're lying. Look at your cable. That would have been the end of it, but that's not how they worked. And like you said, I have also never understood why they put an external drive, because the reality is, and I don't know how many people know this, but somewhere around 80 to 90% of Xbox 360s and Xbox Ones and whatever, it's just a standard DVD drive.
Yeah.
You can take it out of your desktop and stick it, if you want a 4 HD drive, plug it in, because like we were talking about earlier, because they're on a weird version of Windows, sort of, with a whole lot of mods. There are drivers available to put the HD drive. There has to be the drivers available because when you plug it into it, it can read it. So if you pull out your normal DVD drive and put the HD DVD drive into your 360, congratulations, you have an HD DVD 360 that's plugged in, and the Xbox itself will never know the difference, nor will it care.
Well, with the new consoles coming out, Charles, and they may or may not have disk drives, they're definitely going to sell you the one on the side to plug it in. So
Yeah, well,
I think we're heading to that future. But maybe
that's
HD
unfortunate.
DVD can make a comeback now.
Couldn't you put photos on the Xbox 360?
Yeah, you could put photos on there, make
yeah,
them your
videos,
background.
and
Yeah.
I actually tested
custom
out.
startup screens too.
So I never did the music thing on 360. I
Yeah.
just plugged in a CD to the OG Xbox. I'm like, oh, cool, I can play a CD. Okay, I'm going to take that out and play a game. I didn't know you could rip it. I didn't know
Yeah.
that was an option, and never took advantage of the hard drive. And so a couple weeks ago, I'm like, well, I need to take advantage and see how the music worked on the 360. So I loaded up a USB. I put about 20 gigs of music on that USB, and then I didn't know that when the music app functions, it has to scan the whole drive.
Oh, jeez. You were there for a while, huh?
Yeah, I was sitting there for a long time. I'm like,
that's right. It had to scan it first.
That's because it
scan
pre-caches everything. It caches the whole playlist all the way through.
forgot about
yeah,
that.
and so I'm like, what the heck? Why is there everything in alphabetical order? I feel like I'm on my old MP3 player.
Yeah.
What's going on? But I finally figured it out, and it was kind of cool. I was playing I have it listed here. I was listening to I was playing Trials Evolution, but listening to Jurassic 5. It was super dope.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time ripping my CDs and curating playlists for gaming on my
different
360.
games. Man, this is
He
cool.
does that for his D&D stuff. He'll sit there and be like,
Yeah.
then I'll do this, and puts a playlist. And so every now and then we're in his truck and there's this random tavern music.
Yeah, man.
And he's like, ignore this song, but the playlist is good, Skip.
But yeah, it was a cool experience going back and trying that out. And I was playing that game Strider, which was that Capcom remake thing.
Yeah.
I was listening to Michael Jackson while playing it. It was pretty dope. And then I was playing Orcs Must Die while listening to the Killer Instinct soundtrack from 2013. So it was dope. It was cool. All right, so games, Xbox 360. We talked about a couple of them. Let's talk about Halo 3, man. Halo 3.
Oh, that was the big one.
Yeah, that was the big one.
That's good stuff, man.
Now-
Finish the fight.
Someone, don't get mad at me.
Eh?
Did 343 take over on 3?
4.
Or 4?
Anniversary,
It was
which was
Anniversary 3, which is 4.
Yeah.
everything
right?
after Reach, basically.
Yeah.
I just always forget whether it's 3 Reach 4 or Reach 3 4, because then ODST is in the middle there. But
I think Reach
I always get the
was
order
their
backwards.
last go.
Yeah, Reach was
Yeah.
Because it
Bungie's
had-
Reach
last.
was
had the
Bungie's
goodbye.
last. Yeah, but what I'm saying is Reach is after 3, not before 3, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
That's the
yes.
part that I always
So
get
it
wrong,
went,
and I have
it
no
went
idea
Halo
why.
3, and then it went
ODST.
ODST, and
And
then
then
Reach.
and then
I mean,
4.
ODST was essentially like
Add-on.
an add-on to Halo 3 anyway.
Yeah.
So good. I think I would argue Marty O'Donnell's best soundtrack is an ODST.
Hmm.
Even
The
though
ch-
3 is pretty dang
To
good.
this day, when it's rainy and I'm down in downtown Chico, I legitimately,
that
this
track,
is not
man.
a lie.
I saw that on your
promise-
TikTok. You 100%
Yeah, I
did.
promise you, this is not a lie. I will go back to the ODST and play it that soft, beautiful,
Oh,
succulent jazz.
so smooth, man.
Yeah, it's just incredible. Like if I'm ever in a city and I'm walking, I put my earbuds in and I am in ODST. I am an agent of Oni and I am
There you
looking
go.
for espionage.
Yeah.
Well, I have the Xbox 360. One of the Xbox 360s I still retain is the Halo 4 Special Edition with the
that one's
Cortana
dope.
shell.
That one looks
it's
so
shiny.
cool.
Here's the part I haven't figured out. I have a Reach controller. I'm not sure how that happened because it's from a different console. But I have the Halo 4 Xbox with all the cool blue lines. It's got a see-through
Yeah.
shell. You turn it on, it plays a different sound. But for some reason, my controller's from Reach, which I thought was a way lamer edition of Xbox because it was just gray with some lines on it. So I have a gray Reach controller, but then a really shiny, awesome Xbox. I have no idea how that happened.
Did you have a 320 gig hard drive or 500 in that guy?
500.
Yeah, boy, that's what's up.
Got the 500.
Man.
And on the my first one, too, same thing. I pulled the hard drive. That's how I know the DVD drives and everything are interchangeable.
Oh, you
is
tore them
I
out,
eventually
tested
got
them
to the
out?
point where I was tired of having to have external stuff plugged in, and so the only externals in it now are big old honking fans to keep it from red ringing.
See, my brother had the original one on launch because he just sat at what was it, the mall? I think the GameStop at
GameStop in the mall.
Yeah, and I think he was a security guard at that point, so he had
Yeah,
let
he
it
had
in.
access early. He was there at
Yeah,
like 8 a.m.
and he like
Oh,
knew
dang.
he like knew the
Yeah.
manager and was able to like he just pulled some strings. But
Well,
I
he
think
worked night shift alone wandering around the mall anyway, so I didn't trust him to.
but I got the elite. That's what I because I had to get a job because I mean when the Xbox 360 launched, I think I was in 6th, 7th grade.
Yeah.
So
Youngins.
he was already working, and then by the time I got the 360, I think I was high school. So I went from middle school to high school, and I bought the Elite. The Elite had came out, so I was the 500 gigabyte
Dang, that's cool.
with the touch sensor.
Yeah.
So you didn't have
you
the
touch it,
actual
yeah.
button.
You're like, whoa, this is the future, man. This is just
Yeah.
like the Xbox One.
Red Dead Redemption or Red Dead. Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was my first one I bought.
That's a good pick. That's a good time because that would be like 09 or something or 010.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool, man.
Never forgive 343 for using the wrong port.
What port?
For Halo.
You mean when the anniversary?
No.
what are
Do
you
you
talking
not know this?
The port? Oh, what do you mean?
So have you ever played Halo 1 on PC? Halo
Oh,
Combat
343
Evolved.
did that one?
No, they didn't. Hang on, I'm going somewhere with this. But have you ever played it?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Have you ever noticed how the Xbox version can't even touch its graphics with a 50-foot pole?
Yes.
The graphics for Halo
so.
CE on the original PC version are...
You're talking about the sun.
No, the
lighting?
graphics. The graphics.
Okay.
Like the actual files are of extremely high resolution to an unplayable degree. You couldn't play ultra resolution of Halo Combat Evolved when it first came out. The files are on the disc, but you have to unlock them because they were like so high you couldn't actually process it. So the Xbox port is a D resolution with less polygons and everything else. The Xbox version is a significantly less version. And yes, that plays into the lighting because that's why there were so many lighting glitches on Combat Evolved. 343 didn't get the PC port. They ported it off of the de-resolutioned and frankly crappy Xbox port of what was a beautiful game. So when Combat
Evolved Anniversary,
thank you, was released, it was a port of a port of a port, and that's why it had so many lighting errors and why the resolution and oh man,
Is that the one you could switch between the new and the old one? Okay.
And the thing was, I remember an interview, and man, I wish I knew. I tried to find it before this because we knew going in, and I was trying to find the interview and I couldn't find it. So bear with me, people of the audience, and please Google it yourself. There was an interview somewhere where some smaller gaming magazine goes, "Why did you guys use the port? That's clearly why there's shader issues, and that's indicative of this Xbox port. How come you didn't do it?" And the dude looks him square in the face and goes, "Well, the original resolution's the same as the resolution we have on Anniversary Edition, so it wouldn't have looked any different."
What?
And it's like, wait, what? Apparently they were that high of resolution for the, I forget what they call the files, but all the little files that save all the data for the polygons and all the actual texture packs.
Like that,
and all the texture packs. Apparently they're so high resolution, they're like 4K. And so,
holy crap. No wonder it ran like crap on PCs at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and so that's why. So
I thought it was Windows Vista.
I didn't believe this when I first heard this when Halo 3 3/4, when Halo 4 / that came out. I didn't believe it. I went and grabbed my copy of CE, which physical CD, put it in my brand new gaming PC, and sure enough, playing it on ultra graphics, it looks better because Bungie spent a lot more time with all the lighting dynamics and everything else, and they had to effectively dumb the game down to get it to run on Xbox.
Well, essentially, they were developing it for Mac originally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like I said, the little iMac thing that was absolutely astronomical from a processing and graphics standpoint. And so what ended up happening is they kept doing that through 1, 2, 3, I don't know about ODST, and Reach. They all have way higher resolution files on the PC version, and 343 just used the Xbox. And someone once told me, and this comes from that interview again, that it had something to do with them not being able to get the files, or somebody lost the files when Bungie.
Hear that.
Yeah, when Bungie sold them the files or whatever, all they got was like the ports. That's what their official claim was. Which begs the question, why didn't you just jailbreak an original CD? But okay.
I did hear that they lost some of the original files from the original.
That was their official excuse of why
Halo.
it looks so junky, because people are like, hey, I have CE and it doesn't look like that. That looks like the Xbox version. It's different. Yeah. I look at that and I go, you guys could have spent 10 more minutes probably jailbreaking the original CDE. Then imagine where the graphics would have been if they actually had the good graphics to start with instead of upscaling bad graphics.
Now, that makes me curious because I never played it, but the Windows 7 port of Halo 2, I wonder if that's the same deal.
Yeah, I
I
wonder.
have no idea.
Because I played that a bunch.
That was like really, really badly panned critically at the time. People were like, who is this game for even?
Yeah.
So it'd be really crazy if that was one of those like hidden gems that just kind of got
It's
buried.
very because Halo CE, like I got mocked for playing it on PC for the longest time. Things like the flamethrower. I was like,
oh, that's
that didn't
right.
exist
Yeah.
on the
and flamethrower doesn't exist
consoles.
on Xbox, not because of whatever, but because the Xbox literally couldn't handle the flame dynamics of the flamethrower. Things couldn't get caught on fire. And so that was like my favorite weapon. I was running around with the flamethrower or flamethrower modded
He actually
to launch
showed
rockets.
me the flamethrower back in the day.
Yeah,
on
and
his
he's
PC.
like, how come I don't get that? And I'm like, because you're Xbox.
Well, 'cause
PC Master Race.
This is the funny part. He was so petty about it. So I said there was no flamethrower. You're on drugs,
Yeah.
right? This is Halo. There's no flamethrower, and he drove all the way from where we're at now, all the way up to the mountains where I lived then, in his old Buick.
Yes.
Took his
Probably cost
computer
me $5-10 in gas minimum.
His entire computer setup. And set
I
it up
brought
in
it with me.
my room and said, "Watch this." And
Watch this.
And lo and behold, the guy had a flamethrower.
Yeah. Because we were talking about it, and I was like, my favorite weapon for that's the flamethrower, because when the grunts attack, you can light them on fire, especially if it's the ones with the packs, and they run to the enemies and explode. And he goes, that's Halo 2 and Halo 3, bro. ODST is when they start exploding. I was like, no, that was in Halo 1, and it's in the PC variants of all of them, and you have to go back and do the PC. And he's like, no, man. So yeah, I drove basically 50, almost 60 miles one way, picked up my whole desktop and drove it back up the whole 50, 60 miles.
A big moment that cemented your friendship to this day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you said Red Dead Redemption, Billy.
Yes.
And what else did you play on 360?
Oh man, there's this one game that I played the holy living heck out of, and that was called Time Shift. You ever played that one?
No,
that was like
never.
no one's ever heard of that game, and it's so groundbreaking. I thought it was so cool. You play as a time shift or time split. I can't remember.
Wait, Time Splitters?
No, it wasn't Time Splitters.
not
That's
Time
a good one
Splitters.
too.
Okay,
That's a good one too.
Time Shift.
Is it Time Shift or Time Split? I can't remember. It's got like a dude with a helmet.
Yeah,
in the front.
2007.
2007.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I remember
So
seeing
you
this
could
cover.
slow time, and you also time traveled. And so you had there was a
Also by Saber Interactive.
yeah, so there was like
Oh,
this
dang.
button you'd push to slow time or speed up time, and there was also puzzle games within the first-person shooter experience, and it was super fun. And nobody I ever bring it up to remembers it, but
I remember reading magazine articles about it, but I never played it.
Yeah, and so there was that one. Quick,
Yeah, you know why nobody remembered it? Because it was in the fall of 07 when it came out. And Halo 3 was
Yeah.
literally I think a
True.
month away from that.
Eclipsed.
Dang.
And then there was Quake 4.
Yeah, Quake 4.
That was really
cool.
groundbreaking. I played that one. Oh gosh, there was so many on the 360. I mean,
Did you guys ever play Doom 3 at all?
Yes.
Yes.
My brother
And
was
Eternal.
able to play that.
I own Doom 3 for the OG Xbox to play on my 360, but for whatever reason I never got around to actually playing Doom 3. I would always just bust it out when friends came over so we could play because it was like the collector's edition or
collector's
whatever.
edition, yeah.
So it had
Original
the
Doom.
original
Yeah,
Doom 1
yeah.
and Doom 2 on it, and we'd play through the Doom 2 campaign in split screen.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome.
That was
Yeah.
I
That
think
just put me down a phone rabbit hole there. I apologize for spacing out for a sec. That
there was
I was-
Doom
you know-
Resurrection too. I think that was like the second one. There's Doom 3 and then there was Doom 3. Was it Doom 3?
3 Resurrection of
Resurrection.
Evil. That was
Yeah.
like an expanded
Expansion
version of it.
I think you actually ended up fighting like the Mega Demon or something in the last part.
Yeah, the boss battle was
Yeah.
huge. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. There was, for me, like, we got a 360 way late. Like, it was 2012, like, super late. We spent years playing, like, the GameCube, the Wii, no PlayStation at all, just the OG Xbox, the Wii, the N64, and the GameCube. And so we had, like, laptops and stuff. But, like my experience with Halo 2, it was when I was way older, like probably when I turned 18. And then playing a cracked version of Halo 2 online with multiplayer in like 2017. That was my like online Halo 2 experience. That was so amazing and so much fun. And then the whole Halo Online saga happened.
Oh yeah.
And we can get into that in a different podcast, but that was fire. That was like my big online thing. But anyway, but 360, my Adelaide, my sister, we wanted it for the longest time. We really wanted a 360 or PS3 or whatever. And then finally she went to a friend's place and played, I think it was Super Amazing Wagon Adventure or Minecraft. And she's like, oh my God, I need to get a 360. She had a job at that point. And she's like, I'm getting one. So she got a 360. She bought Minecraft digitally, Super Amazing Wagon Adventure, and and Halo 3. She got a copy of Halo 3. And there was like Mass Effect 1. She also got Mass Effect as well.
Oh, that's a.
And so
that's
she,
Mass Effect
yeah, so she
classic.
went through and
That's
I
a
remember,
series that they've mangled.
I remember,
Yeah.
so we
Yeah.
we started with that, and it was so much fun playing Minecraft, like endless hours of that, obviously.
Have a great
But I
Mass
ended
Effect
up
skin for
most. I
Minecraft.
think it wasn't the elite because the elite model was later. We had the
Yeah.
S, we had the slim, and I spent most of my time with like Injustice: Gods Among Us, Trials
yeah.
Trials Evolution, a couple of the Lego games, and then Oblivion as well. That was
Mhm.
a lot of fun.
I have so many hours in like
I wasn't
Oblivion
allowed to
and
play
Scrim.
Skyrim at the time when we got it,
Yeah.
but I'd watch my cousin play it, and he like killed one of the side quest like main guys, and it says you failed the quest, and he's like, "No, Barry," or whatever his name was, and then he's like, "No," and I'm like watching him play it, and he's like, what he's got on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, Mass Effect. What do you got? That's another gaming sin of mine. Bioshock and Mass Effect. I've yet to get through it.
Mass Effect was that game could have been the start of something so groundbreaking in terms of like RPGs. Like just it was so cinematic and it was so cool, like all the different things you could do. Like it was Starfield before there was Starfield.
Yeah.
You know,
you're going
basically.
exploring, you know? Yeah.
And I've sunk so many hours into that game just because of all the different things you could do. And then I remember I bought Mass Effect 2 and then I put the disc in and started playing, and it was just like, it's like, where did my cool sci-fi RPG go?
Mhm.
This is like third person Call of Duty.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
they all went action.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, same thing with Dragon Age. That had the same thing. Like
Dragon Age,
Origins was
yeah.
like the hardcore RPG.
That was the one I played the most of.
Yeah.
Was
You know, my
Origins.
sisters were super. Adley was super into all the Bioware stuff. Mostly Mass Effect though. Like I think she's replayed the Mass Effect trilogy on her 360, or the one that she bought after the other one died.
You know what game?
She played it. I want to say she's played through the trilogy like probably 7 or 8 times.
That's
just-
commitment.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know. I was
that's a
like, she just
lot.
loves it. She loves Mass Effect. So, but what were you gonna say, Charles?
Oh, I was just that totally ties in. So I got distracted a minute ago. I was looking at what I was trying to do is remember because we were talking about Free Space 2. And Mass Effect, just bear with me for a sec. Mass Effect. Have you guys ever played Descent or Descent 2 or Descent 3?
No.
So Free Space 2 is the 5th game in that franchise for Volation.
Oh, interesting.
Software.
Huh?
Yeah, I was like,
Oh.
but it's basically like
A different game.
pre-Mass Effect.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of interesting because I was sitting there going, I was like, I'm trying to remember whether it's Descent or Mass Effect 1 that I actually played on the other console.
I don't know. That Mac had
But-
something on it.
Well, no, the Mac had Free Space 2. I just meant like more recently. I was trying to remember because the games they look very similar. Well, Volation is the same guys that makes Saints Row.
Oh, interesting.
Uh-huh.
Huh.
And Descent. And
There
so
no more. I
there's
think.
Yeah, they're gone.
yeah, they're gone.
Yeah.
There's overlap of developers there. That's what I was just getting distracted by is he's
Okay.
talking about. It's amazing how many of these games have some of the same developer names
Yeah.
floating across Descent and Bingle and the one with the S that I just said, something
I don't remember. Free Space. Descent.
no, the studio. Anyway,
Volition.
no, the guys that did, and then the guys that do Mass Effect,
Oh, BioWare.
BioWare.
Yeah, there's a
thank
lot,
you.
yeah,
And then who's the guys that did the game you just mentioned that started with an S?
Yeah.
Either way, there's like 3 or 4 developers and writers that cross over. And they're
That's
the same
interesting.
people.
So like,
And that or there's people
Huh.
with the exact same name that,
well, like
have tracking.
Drew Karshibian or whatever.
yeah.
He wrote like the KOTOR games, and then he also went on to write the Mass Effect trilogy.
Yeah.
So on and so forth.
Yeah.
Same thing with Chris Avalon for KOTOR.
And of course,
2.
Halo's a knockoff
He
of
went.
Marathon, obviously.
Well, their
Knockoffs
idea.
may not be the right word, but
Well, I mean,
It's a
it
continuation
actually
of.
was supposed to be
Yeah.
an RTS in
Yeah.
the beginning, and they turned it into a shooter because they were so enamored what they had accomplished with the Jeep physics.
I believe that.
They loved
yeah.
They
Warthog,
loved
Warthog,
how they had nailed the Jeep physics and just watching
Saber.
it bounce around. So they're
Saber,
like,
yeah.
so they zoom the camera in ever closer until finally they're like, let's just make it a shooter game.
Yeah.
It just became an FPS. Sorry.
Did you guys?
Yeah.
Did you guys ever look up the Macworld presentation of Halo
No, I didn't.
when it was a third-person shooter? Oh, it's a great YouTube. Just look it up. Macworld Halo reveal, and
Yeah.
Steve Jobs is on stage presenting it,
That's
and then they
awesome.
dive into the gameplay. And Sergeant Johnson's there. It's in third person.
I think I
Master
have
Chief's
seen
there.
that. It's been a long
Yeah.
time.
It's cool. It's like 20 minutes or something.
We were
It's
just
cool.
playing the Master Chief Collection last night, and I just got they dropped it this month of the original armor
Yeah.
from
Oh, really?
the Macworld
Oh, that's
Halo.
dope. Yeah, because they
It's
had
all
some of the
blocky and
maps.
stuff.
Yeah, it's
It's
They
weird
even brought
looking.
back some
Yeah.
of the maps that were originally
Yeah.
going to be in it too.
I think Blood Gulch is from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. There's like there's some cool stuff on there.
I think the most influential, because Halo had been around. It was just like a Titan,
Mhm.
but the biggest game I remember on the 360, not just Xbox in general, was Gears.
Yeah,
I
Gears of
spent
War, yeah.
so much time playing Gears with my friends. Like we would.
Still want that special
was the-
edition
Oh yeah.
console. Oh, so
Yeah, same here. It was
Oh my
so-
god, with the gear cog on it.
Mhm.
I
The
think
Xbox One special edition with Gears.
Yes,
Yeah.
that
That's
one
the
specifically. The one.
I think that was my first time, because I was so young when we were doing the LAN parties. I was probably 7 or 6.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
that
and your
was
controller was mostly plugged in too.
mostly. Yeah, I don't think I ever actually played the game. But that was my first time ever doing an all-nighter.
Dang.
And we stayed up, I think we ended up staying up 48 hours playing Gears.
God.
And we were all hallucinating
I bet.
by that
yeah.
point. At one point, I remember falling
The
asleep.
locusts are real.
I remember falling asleep,
Dew.
and we were still playing the game, kinda. My buddy had fallen asleep on the couch, and his guy was just running across onto the wall, and so was I on the other wall. And I was like, "We need to turn this thing off, man." We had gone through like I think 6 Little Caesars pizzas.
Oh my God.
Like 5 liters of Mountain Dew. I think we got sick from just looking at the TV for that long. Like, it was crazy. I had
Bonkers.
never. That's the longest I'd ever played video games straight. Like
Dang, dude.
I think I took off time from school because I wasn't feeling good. It was crazy.
What happened?
Totally worth
I
it.
played games.
Yeah, that was probably when I think it was like 13,
You were
14.
practicing to be a certain individual that we all know.
Oh man, speaking of Gears of War though, like that reminds me of like the 360 was so cool. Like the amount of graphical like
Oh, the jump was huge.
jump throughout like over the lifespan of the console was incredible. Because I remember playing Call of Duty 2, being blown away by the graphics.
Yeah.
Then Gears of War came out. I
Oh
was
my
blown
God.
away by the graphics. And then Call of Duty 4 came out, and it was like, oh my God, games can't possibly
They
get,
get
any more
better, yeah.
realistic. And that was one console.
Yeah. The span was
It's
crazy.
it's so crazy to think about that, like, because you have Oblivion
Yeah.
and then Skyrim's on the same console.
And that really put
Dude,
Elder Scrolls on the map, because Morrowind was a small little game, but like Oblivion
that was the big
and
one.
Skyrim, and I mean that launched BioWare. Oh,
I
not
love how
BioWare,
the map is in the background of the other
Bethesda.
map. too.
Bethesda. Bethesda. I mean that really got them on the map. And then there was Gears of War, Assassin's Creed
Yeah,
started.
Assassin's Creed, yeah.
By the way, I have played every single Assassin's Creed there is,
Dang, dude.
except the new one.
That's commitment.
Except the new one.
Yeah.
Except for Shadows.
I was just a big fan of Assassin's Creed, but that I mean, there's like 360 is really where it launched, like online, Xbox
Online,
Live.
so
all
many
the,
things.
All
I
the
think-
major franchises today in general.
I
Yeah,
think the 360 really is the turning point in that console. So the
Iconic.
Xbox brought that sort of game to the mass public as a whole.
yeah,
And the 360 really cemented that consoles could be of a lot of genres and have sequels that are not just Banjo-Kazooie 2.
And a
know.
multi-tool as well. Like you could stream eventually with it. You can listen to
Exactly.
music
Yeah.
with
And
it.
they
Did
were
you stream with it?
yeah.
Yeah, you can get
Oh.
Netflix. You could have gotten Netflix on it. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't have Netflix.
I think they
at that
closed
point.
it. I think they just got
I was
rid
gonna
of
say,
Netflix.
it doesn't
like
work
last 3
anymore,
years.
but
yeah.
Did you guys
it
ever have
worked.
GameFly?
Yes.
No.
I had GameFly.
I always wanted to.
I remember the commercials for it. I thought
Yeah,
it was
the
cool.
commercials. Yeah.
But
I mean, that was the era too of like what was it? Not X Games. What was it called? G4. The
Yeah,
G4.
G4, man.
Yeah, G4
Mhm.
and all those guys, and like, I mean, it was just that was the prime. In my opinion, that was where the
game
nerds.
trailers. I remember watching
were-
that a lot.
Yeah, the nerd like people. It wasn't so mainstream that everyone did it. You know, there was no Fortnite
Well,
or
and the
anything like that.
professional gamers weren't like, you suck. I'm 12 and already winning all these tournaments.
Exactly,
It was
yeah.
It
still
was
fun.
just dudes that were there for the fun, and if they lost, they were, mad, but they weren't gonna like
Yeah.
Burn your house
cuss you
down.
out and act like a 12-year-old who just lost a
Yeah.
match,
Yeah,
and you'd
it
get
was-
like $500.
It was still like the nerdy kids were only playing, and then then the online thing started, and like everyone started playing.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, the 360 was just iconic.
Yeah, man. It's so cool. And we could go over tons of stuff. I mean, we
Oh,
mentioned
yeah,
Skyrim.
hours.
There's so much in there. The Arkham games, bro.
Fallout,
Dude,
Fallout!
Fallout,
Dude.
my favorite game.
Man. Yeah, there's and like even stuff that later in the generation, Telltale's The Walking Dead.
Yes.
Like holy cow, like that stuff, and even Portal 2.
Portal 2.
Portal's
Portal 2
good.
was
I
on
like
the
Cake is
360
alive.
and PS3.
I like
Cake is
Portal
still
too.
alive.
Yeah,
It's probably my favorite.
old machines
game.
only cake, but yeah.
Yeah.
We talked about this on the Half-Life retrospective a couple episodes ago, but Portal 2 I think has the best characters in any game,
Oh yeah,
hands down. And
Wheatley's
they're all
awesome.
robots.
Wheatley is so
Or
awesome and
voices.
horrible at the same time.
Yeah.
And J.K. Simmons, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dude, Gladys, my. So, well, Left 4 Dead. Like, there's
Left 4
so
Dead.
much on here.
Yeah.
Mirror's Edge, Witcher 2 that was on there. That kind of somewhat soft launched set of Project Red's career.
Yes.
You had Mortal Kombat 9 on here. The War for Cybertron games.
Oh, I forgot
Bro.
about those.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I recently found a dude online
Movie
Twitter
playing game.
that goes and repacks a bunch of PC games, but he repacks them with all the bug fixes and community patches and stuff. He's done that to the Peter Jackson game. Billy. He's done that to he's done it to a bunch of stuff, but one of them is the War for Cybertron and Fallout for Cybertron.
Oh, no
game.
kidding.
And they actually run on your modern system.
Wow.
It's
that
so
could be
dope.
fun.
I'll send you.
Yeah.
I'll send you.
Yeah,
I'll send you guys a
please
link of
do.
it. It'll be super cool. But you had stuff like even the Japanese titles on there, David, like the JRPGs. You had Lost
Oh
Odyssey,
yeah,
Blue Dragon, Eternal Sonata.
yeah.
A bunch of really interesting stuff that Xbox was able to get Japan to make. And even Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah, I think that was like the first generation of, well, I mean, the 360 was really where you started seeing a lot of Japanese influence finally coming onto Xbox, because it was mostly PlayStation before
Well,
that.
the internet made the availability and the transfer
That
of
too.
files usable. You
Yeah.
got to a speed where it was reasonable to communicate.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's
cross-
so many
cross the
people
ocean.
who were downloading like the latest Dragon Ball Z episode that week and playing it on their 360.
Yeah,
with
I'm
like
sure.
a fake, like a fan sub or something.
Yeah, it was you talked about Blue Dragon. It was like that was such an underrated title back in the day. Like it was critically well received, but like it didn't sell well from what I remember. But it was like such a cool concept. Like Akira Toriyama, like designing a game
Yeah.
for like doing the art direction for a game for the Xbox. Like
What?
like the world had never heard of such a thing.
Earlier, I was just looking at Xbox 360 games just for references, because, it's been forever since I played a 360 game.
Right.
I was baffled. I thought Phantom Pain came out on the Xbox One.
Yeah,
No,
it was also on 360.
It was on 360. I didn't know
dude.
that.
Dude,
Really?
that Fox
Yeah.
engine,
Wait,
engine's crazy.
Metal Gear Solid 5?
Yep.
Yeah,
Was on the
Phantom Pain came out on the
360?
360.
What the fuck?
No, yeah.
Are,
Yep.
are you sure? Now,
Yeah.
you didn't get this from AI, right? This
No.
No, it's
not-
real.
Not
I remember
Wikipedia
it
or
was
anything.
PS3, PS4, 360, and an Xbox One.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been the overlap.
That
yeah.
engine, the Fox engine that Konami still has to this
Yeah.
day, is
Left, right, up, down, down.
great. It's so amazing. Well, actually, that kind of segues into something I tried out recently. So, Rise of the Tomb Raider. Speaking of Metal Gear Solid 5,
I
in
just played through that one.
Yeah, 2015, you had Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's kind of like the last big year for 360 releases. It's like
Yeah.
the last swan song. So you had Metal Gear Solid 5 and you had Rise of the Tomb Raider were some of the big ones. And I actually tested it today. So I bought a copy of Rise of the Tomb Raider because I heard it was on 360. I'm like, I need to see if
Yeah.
it actually can run on there.
Is it good? Like, does it work?
It's flawless. Like it's
works
30
great.
frames,
Yeah,
but
that's
it's
how I originally
fine.
played it.
It's like, and I
Yeah.
'Cause I,
I
have
ran
it on
it.
PC, but
So I ran on my PC today, just 1080p medium settings. I mean, I can go I can
Oh, yeah.
max the game out if I want,
Yeah.
but I just did it to that to get a base level, and it looks great.
Yeah.
And then I went on 360. It's like lesser quality, but it runs fine.
It runs fine.
It's
Yeah.
great. And I'm like, dude, this is amazing. Like, this is the fact that, God, what were they? Not Eidos Montreal, but Crystal Dynamics. The fact they were able to do that.
On the old hardware, too.
Half a gig of RAM, bro.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's crazy.
That's the part that, yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
And like the minimum requirements on PC were like 4 gigs. So it's like,
Yeah.
what
That
the
means that
heck?
would probably run on that Celeron that we're using
Yeah.
as a server.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was really interesting. I want to try it because there's a copy they backported Jedi Survivor to Xbox One and PS4.
What?
Yeah, they did to sell more copies, and I really want to get a copy of that to test it out on like Series.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Xbox One S or something.
I mean, it's
like that.
compatible with the Steam Deck, so I'm assuming
Yeah,
that'll
yeah.
be, you know.
I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, well, the Steam Deck's not a good metric for that because it has an insane processor in it.
Oh.
but
Yeah. But the fact that it can run on it,
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
means the control scheme works because they have
Have you ever
similar
s-
control.
Have you ever seen those
infrastructure.
online videos where they'll take like modern games and then put it back to like PS1 graphics? Have you ever seen those?
yeah,
little
those are
shorts?
cool. I like
Those are
those.
so cool.
Yeah, like
Like
Bloodborne PS1.
That's what 343
Oh yeah,
did
the
to
PSX
Halo.
Bloodborne.
Yeah, yeah, that
They
was
put it to,
That
like,
was
8-bit,
dope, dude.
You know?
Now the cool thing about the PS1 Bloodborne port is somebody took all the assets they created and actually made a kart racer on Steam that's free. It's called Nightmare Kart, and it's actually a decent kart racer you can play. I played it. You can play on
Excuse
Steam
me
Deck
while I
and
get on
stuff.
my phone for
Yeah,
a
Nightmare Kart
unrelated
on
Nightmare Kart.
on Steam. You can play it. Super fun. It's like got like 8 tracks or something. You got all the characters from Bloodborne you could play as in a kart.
I just love those so much. I every time I see them, I just watch the whole thing because I
Yeah.
just love seeing.
or like
you know,
Fortnite on PS1.
Fortnite,
that
yeah,
was
on
cool. I was like,
PS1.
whoa, this is so cool.
just like 8-bit graphics and stuff like that. It's just awesome.
Well, speaking of kind of visiting yesteryear,
Yeah.
the Xbox 360 also had Xbox Live, but most importantly, Xbox Arcade. You had some of the Xbox Summer of Arcade titles as well.
Oh,
Let me
Oh,
just
yeah.
read some of those off real quick.
Worms.
You had the Worms Armageddon and Worms games, but you also had Limbo, Braid, Bastion,
That's right.
Explosion
That's when that
Man.
launched.
Super Meat Boy, Castle Crashers, Costume Quest. You also had Fez, Spelunky. You had Dust and Elysian Tale, Outland, Skullgirls, Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet. Shout out to my nephew Josh. And A Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, which was the first game from those guys that did It Takes Two.
That's
it's
right.
pretty cool, man.
That's
Like-
kind of where the indie games started coming
To
into
the big-
fruition,
Yeah.
into the big leagues.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I
Microsoft
totally had
really,
forgotten about arcade.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's
that
cool stuff, man.
that like
Microsoft
connected
actually
neurons that I
like
forgot were
curated that.
severed.
Like they actually
Yeah, they
encourage,
encourage.
Yeah.
like created a framework for indie developers to create games for Xbox Live Arcade.
Wow,
Like
I've forgotten that.
Like that was so, like it's so unlike the version of the company that we see now.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately.
Um,
Was there anything else on 360 you guys wanted to?
Two games that are kind of important. One, Borderlands.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I played. So I beat that game. I must have beat that game 30 times
But
just trying
also
to get the non-existent pistol.
Pretty much kicked off the
And Borderlands 2.
and
I think
the professional career of
3,
Cage
too.
the Elephant,
Yes.
the band.
Ain't
Oh,
no
yes,
rest for the
yes,
wicked.
yes.
Yeah, ain't
Oh,
no rest for the
man.
wicked album. Oh,
Dude.
I remember that.
as much as I love the original Borderlands, I cannot forgive them for that because hearing that song on the radio 50 billion times, I was not a fan of that song. So hearing it on the radio 50 billion times was not a pleasant experience.
Man.
You know, but so Borderlands, which I love, and I'm actually still working through Tiny Tina's Wonderland right now. I'm on the
Yeah.
Mirror's Elm DLCs with my wife. We are viciously attacking the baddies in that one. But the other game that I feel like just at least needs to be mentioned that actually released for 360 is Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. it
That's
had
when
launched.
it came out. It was a
Those
360.
cross
Yeah,
times
yeah.
where the
Yeah.
generations jumped.
And
Yeah.
it came out, what was it, September 2013?
Somewhere in that
And
vicinity,
then the
yeah.
consoles came out right after that, PS4 and Xbox
You know,
One.
So, and in another 20 years, we Xbox 36, we might get GTA 6.
J6, yeah.
Yep. That'll
I
be
think we're
that'll be this
closer.
year.
I mean, yeah, that's how time works.
Yeah.
It's gonna be that'll come out this year, guys. Come on.
I told my boss I'm taking off 2 weeks to play that.
Yeah, David, you reminded me about the Ain't No Rest for the Wicked song. You should look up Ain't No Rest for the Triggered,
Oh,
the parody
jeez.
song. It's so funny. Shout out to Chris Reagan there.
Oh, you show me that one.
Yeah,
You
Ain't No
sho-
Rest for the Triggered.
Yeah, you
It's
show me
really
that
funny.
one, which is really funny coming from him.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, you had Red Dead, obviously. All the Battlefields are on there. Forza,
Yeah.
Horizon
Yeah,
made its
Forza, yeah.
Horizon made its debut on there. Dude, Dishonored, bro.
Dishonored.
Such a good game, man.
Yeah.
Modern Warfare too.
Yeah.
Like we
Call of Duty
we touched
4.
on that, but
Yeah.
Modern
Yeah, that
Warfare,
was
yeah.
like that. I remember just like playing, like it was a cool game all around. But
Yeah.
like I remember just like going through the campaign, and then like I was like gonna go into a door as part of a mission or whatever. But like, so I was standing outside of a building, and I just looked out over the landscape, looked at the sun gleaming off of everything. I was like, man, I just stepped into the future. Like that game looks so good.
The first, was that the one with the cargo ship is the first mission? Is that Modern Warfare on the Xbox
I
360?
can't
I wanna
remember.
say
You
that's
come.
the
I think
second or
that's the
third
first
one.
mission where you go through the training thing first. I remember my
I don't think
ex-girlfriend.
that's the first Modern Warfare. But I
No,
could be wrong.
Yeah, it was the first one.
Was it?
Yeah, because they had a Sony plasma TV, and
Oh, Dead Space.
Dead
yeah,
Space is a
Dead
good one too.
Space, yeah.
But and he had 5.1 like full 5.1 surround sound, and he's like, you got to play this new Call of Duty game. And I was like, I'm a Medal of Honor guy, man. And he's like, you got to try this though. I was like, okay, I liked Big Red 1, I liked 3, and 2. So I played that first mission where you come in and the storm is raging and like the water effects and like, dude, I'm like, games are never going to be the same. There's all
they
these.
never were.
Yes,
They
I
never
do
were.
remember that
When
mission
you come in the
now.
cargo ship and the lightning's flashing in the water, it's just crazy. And you're trying to traverse this like ship that's in these rough seas, and your character's going like this, and then it gets a hole blown in it, and then you're on the side of it, and you're trying to escape. I mean, that whole game was a spectacle.
And then like towards the end when like you're doing that sniping mission,
Yeah.
and you have like your target is so far away, you have to like account for like the Coriolis effect.
Yeah.
When you make your shot.
Which is
I
a
think that
real
was the
thing
first one.
too. Yeah.
I'm not messing up 2 and 1, am I?
I thought that was 2, but I could be on crack. I don't know. You know, the other game that I mentioned is Saints Row the Third.
Yeah,
That came out on
were you into the
360.
Saint Rose? Saint Rose?
I liked the humor in them because they started off trying to be a Grand Theft Auto, and by the third one they had just completely abandoned that and gone fully like, congratulations, there's aliens and you can fly.
Yeah.
It was somewhere between between
GTA and Just Cause.
and Just Cause. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going with that.
That was
Skate
modern.
3 also came out on the 360.
Oh, Skate 3 was funny.
Skate 3
That was a fun one.
Those are the games that I played.
That was the
Borderlands,
first mission
Skate
in Modern
3.
Warfare.
Was it?
Yeah, it's called Fog of War.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
That's
I
cool.
thought I was messing it up. But
Yeah,
No,
I'm not a Call of Duty guy. The only
Yeah.
campaign I played is Advanced Warfare.
Like I said, the only one I
I
played.
loved it.
Wow.
I actually really liked that.
is that the one with Kevin Costner? Or not Kevin Costner? What's his name? What's his name?
Spacey?
Spacey. Kevin Costner. I wouldn't be surprised.
That would be
That's what they
interesting.
need to do for the
If
next
anybody
World.
out there has the ability to edit,
Call of
I
Duty.
would love to see.
Waterworld.
I would love to see that edited in.
Everyone
Call of
has
Duty
gills.
Waterworld. Webbed feet.
You did
and
what
everything.
with a whale?
Yeah.
Oh god. But speaking of GTA, you also had like stuff like Bully on there.
Oh,
you had the
yeah.
Night Fight games.
Bully wasn't on the
Yeah, it was.
360?
Yeah, it was.
I thought it was just on the PS2.
No, it was on 3. They had a scholarship edition. or
Oh,
something
that's
like that,
right. That's right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you had cool remasters. You had like a Tomb Raider anniversary on there. Legend was reported to 360. You had your Advanced Warfighter 2 game on there, David.
Yes. Oh, I played the crap out of that game. Ghost Recon
Ghost Recon
Advanced
Advanced
Warfighter 2.
Warfighter? That
And
was
then,
fun.
like, just knowing about that led me to the PC port of that, which, so fun.
Yeah, we'll have to have the next LAN party. I keep saying that every LAN party, but yes, the next LAN party will have Advanced Warfighter 2.
So,
Yes.
fun fact about Ghost Recon: they did this pioneered technology, and I think it was 2.
Hmm.
I think it was called Ghosts. I think that's where they got.
In Ghost Recon?
Yeah, it was like something. I think it was 2 or one of the earlier iterations. We had it's PlayStation, but we had the headset for the PlayStation, and you could say commands into the headset,
Oh.
and it was certain word prompts, obviously.
Yeah.
But your teammates would actually respond
Oh, that's dope.
to your
I remember
commands.
reading about that. Yeah.
We ended up getting that piece just to do that in Ghost Recon.
That's cool.
It was
Dang.
so cool.
That's super
It
dope.
worked.
And that's common.
Not
other
always.
games-
I mean,
Well, look how far they've come with that one Mimic game that, forgive me for not knowing the modern games, but that one weird Mimic game, that's based on the same thing. You give verbal commands and the computer processes in something, and it's crazy.
I feel like you would have to have some kind of off-the-wall mechanic like that to make Ghost Recon work on like an older console like the PS2.
Yeah.
Just because, like the 360 version of Advanced Warfighter 2 was a completely different style of game
Yeah.
than the old school ones, which is cool that they rectified it in the PC port. They like ported it and turned it into a proper Ghost Recon game.
Yeah.
But yeah, like after playing the PC version of Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 2, I'm like, I could not see this working on a console. Like,
Yeah.
The
Well, there's
last-
also Vegas.
Oh yeah,
That was
Rainbow Six
huge.
Vegas. Yeah.
New
or-
Vegas.
No, Rainbow Six Vegas.
Rainbow
That's
Six
what-
Oh, I
Vegas.
thought you meant Fallout New Vegas.
no, oh,
that
yeah,
also
yeah,
came
too.
out.
That also
Well,
came
it's
out.
you, so I assumed you
Yeah.
meant Fallout
Yeah.
Vegas because every
Yeah.
other shirt you wear is from Fallout.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, no, there was the Tom Clancy's.
Vegas. Yeah.
Those were cool. I played a little
Rainbow
bit of the
Six.
first one.
Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
And
cool.
New
Vegas.
Vegas.
Yeah.
And Siege.
Tactical and
Well, you
everything.
talk about games that change the landscape too. That same vein, you got Call of Duty Black Ops with the zombies and all the horde
Zombies,
modes
World at
that
War.
have.
Yeah,
Well,
World at
think
War,
about
yeah.
how many horde modes have spawned out of Nazi zombies being so popular. Like
and Gears
so many games
too,
were
when
changed
that
to be
came out.
like that
Yeah.
that hadn't intended. Yeah,
which
Like
is really
Gears.
funny because most of my time in Black Ops was spent on Nuketown.
Yes.
4-player
Yeah.
split screen,
Same thing, though.
running around
Yeah.
trying to knife my buddies.
Yeah.
And that's where that battle royale stuff, Player Unknown obviously made that famous, but that's kind of where that became popular enough was during the 360 days that it actually could be standalone games. Is you've got maps like Nuketown that are still in the newest versions
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
then
they're so popular.
You had like the firefight version mode on Halo 3 ODST.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that was super cool.
Yeah. When I got all the 360s together off eBay and whatnot, I also just grabbed crappy old monitors that were just 4x3. But I got an HDMI to VGA adapter, so that was the main monitor for the 360, so I didn't take up all the desk space for the LAN parties. So I actually, in this room, though, in the studio, this was just the spare room at one time, I just had the giant table there and 4 360s, and each one had a square 4x3 monitor for each one.
Nice.
And that was my first experience playing like Nuketown and Call of Duty 2
Really?
multiplayer
Yeah.
and stuff. It was a lot of fun. Good
Yeah.
stuff. So, especially gun game. Oh, God. Gun game's so fun. Man.
Good bonding time games,
Yeah.
Hey, revive me. The zombie killed me. Don't kill the last zombie. Why did
Yeah.
you stab me in the face while jumping out of the window on top of a bus? These are all quotes that came from those games.
But also it was like single player stuff too. You had, I think I mentioned Witcher 2. You had all the Assassin's Creed games, obviously.
Yeah.
You had Dishonored, but also Mirror's Edge.
Mhm.
Did you guys play Mirror's Edge at all?
I actually just bought it recently. And
It's
we're
It's
playing
so
it.
good, man.
I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to playing it because we share a
Was that the
library on Steam.
parkour
so-
game?
The parkour game, first person
Yeah.
parkour.
I
you got a
remember
chick.
I
in the
remember reading
future.
the magazine articles about that. Never played it.
Yeah, I played it. I played it through twice, I think, on PC. It's a good game.
I
It's good
haven't
stuff.
It's just
played
fun.
it.
Yeah, it's just fun.
The-
I haven't played it, but it looks like Aeon Flux, the video game.
Kind of, yeah.
Like, if you've ever
Sure.
seen the movie Aeon Flux,
No.
Yeah.
you should.
It's definitely early 2000s, but yeah.
Yeah,
you should just-
extremely. But the
Um,
hair, the angled.
Yeah.
Didn't we just
hair
watch the
and-
trailer for Aeon Flux not too long ago?
I
Like
don't know.
relating to some kind of like two films type
Oh,
discussion we were having.
Maybe you showed me. I don't remember.
And it was like so awful.
It's,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. The trailer
Sounds
was
right, yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
I remember seeing the trailer for Aeon Flux like actually when the movie came out, and I thought it looked so
The
cool.
trailer looked like a high school project that someone put together and went, oh, this would be cool if she does a flip. Ooh, now have her jump off a building. And then it doesn't talk about any of the context because there was actual context in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife likes that movie, so
Yeah.
we watched it every now and then.
Like,
but
I
that's
mean,
what that game made me think of.
completely like looking at it completely uncritically as a young person. I was like, whoa. And then rewatching the trailer now years later, I'm like, I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
Last thing I'll mention for 360, Alan Wake was awesome. The
Yeah,
one
I
with the
played that
flashlight
one.
and the gun.
Terrible Game Awards performance notwithstanding.
Well, that's the second game. This is the first game we're talking about. But Injustice: Gods Among Us was super fun. Made by Mortal Kombat guys, and Injustice 2 is cool too. But Enslaved: Odyssey to the West. It's a game that's you can get on Steam now. It's called Enslaved, and then there's a colon, Odyssey to the West. Andy Serkis produced and stars in the game, and it's about just a retelling of the classic Chinese tale, Journey to the West, but it's in the future, and you play this guy named Monkey.
I played and beat that one.
Yeah, that's a good game. It was fun. And me and my sisters loved it because we were big Andy
It's Black
Serkis
Myth
fans.
Wukong before Black Myth Wukong.
Yes and no. But that was super fun. And one game I do want to go back to the 360 besides some of the obvious omissions that I have not yet experienced, like Mass Effect. But Sleeping Dogs is one I want to go back and try out.
Yeah.
And some of that GTA
Predecessor
clone
to
kind
True
of stuff.
Crime.
True Crime?
Yeah, True Crime LA, True Crime Streets of New York.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
So that was supposed to be True Crime,
Really?
like Hong Kong.
Yeah, it was one of them, and they split it off, wasn't it?
So yeah, that is.
really?
I consider that as a like what do you call
Spiritual
that?
successor.
Spiritual successor to because there was True Crime Streets of LA, and then there was
the New York one.
the True Crime Streets of New York, and then there was Sleeping Dogs. But Sleeping
Interesting.
Dogs was originally supposed to be labeled Hong Kong or Tokyo. It's like True Crime.
Did they ever
Tokyo.
specify whether it was Hong Kong or I don't remember offhand.
I
Assorted Asian is like what I think they ended up at.
I think it's Hong Kong.
I think
Is
it's-
it? Yeah.
I'd have to go back and replay it. I don't
My
remember
brain
if it's Tokyo or
remembers-
Hong Kong.
My brain remembers
difference,
Japanese
but-
characters.
Yeah, it's a big
instead,
difference.
But yeah.
Huge cultural difference.
Well,
but-
like I said, my brain remembers Japanese characters, and I don't know why, but because
Yeah.
I might just be thinking Yakuza images and thinking,
Yeah.
Well, there's actually a Hong Kong action director out there that
John
bought the
Woo?
rights. No, it's a different.
Oh.
It's a newer guy.
Okay.
He bought the rights to Sleeping Dogs, and he's got Simu Liu, who's Shang-Chi, attached to eventually star in whatever they develop for it.
Oh wow.
So, and they're on it. They're like, we need to make this because I guess Simu Liu, like us, play or not me, but you played it as well.
Yeah.
Loves it, and he wants to like star in it.
having a person star in it that actually cares about a franchise is such an extreme difference. Witcher, excuse me.
Yeah.
And it's so
Yeah, that was
important to
sad.
the franchise.
I didn't even
to-
finish season 2. I couldn't get through it.
I don't know
was
many
like,
people
it was
who did.
alright.
I couldn't get past the thieves, the kids or whatever.
If you
Oh,
if you
I
watch
think I got
Viva
that
La Dirt
Yeah.
League,
The
Yeah.
first season's cool though. I liked it.
you
It's just
watch
weird.
on YouTube, you should check out Viva La Dirt League if you haven't.
Viva La Dirt League.
Oh, they do
They're
great,
funny.
wonderful skits. They're epic NPC, man. They are where that comes from.
Oh, okay.
Epic NPC, man. You know
think
those
I
guys,
remember that.
except on cue and better. But yeah, they do such. They had a Witcher. So they have game logic, which is like pointing out the catastrophic logic in popular video games. They have a whole series called Witcher Logic. And
that's funny.
near the end of the Witcher Logic series of tropes that they do, they change him out for a different guy.
Yeah.
And just make all sorts of. What are you talking about? That's definitely the same guy.
Yeah.
And so then the dude that
man.
plays it the whole time comes back and goes, "Don't you wish this would happen? I'm him again." I'm Galt.
All right, last one for here, guys, is the Kinect. Speak your piece about the Kinect. Any experiences about the Kinect?
You mean the room scanner?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
What do you like? What do you have any memory? Did you play it?
That was towards the
Dance
end.
Central.
Oh, wasn't it launched with it?
Or
No. This is 360. We're still
360.
360.
Oh.
Yeah.
I,
This
Yeah.
is the Kinect.
I just knew
like-
that people played Dance Dance Revolution on it.
Yeah, or Dance Central. Or
Yeah,
whatever
that-
it's called.
or whatever
That was the
it
only
was.
one we
that
played.
the shape in the wall game.
Something
Pose
like
in
that,
a
yeah.
shape, but then it,
There's
like
the
you had to pose
adventure
the shape for
game.
whatever. I don't know.
There
The
was not
Kinect
much I played
was-
about it.
If
The
the
Kinect was one of those things where it's just like, it was like, I never bothered with it
Gimmicky.
because it was just like,
Yeah.
it was like the Wii but worse.
Did you
Mm.
hear that different hospitals bought up like the remaining stock of the Xbox One Kinect
Mhm.
years ago? And so just the camera technology in
Yeah.
hospitals nowadays is just from the Kinect.
The scanners?
The
Yeah.
scanners, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I
that's
didn't
what
know
I
that.
mean.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They were just extremely expensive 3D scanners. that tracked your motion and your movement and stuff. That's what they were designed to do, and they're very good at it.
Yeah, they're
You
good.
know?
It's good technology,
Yeah.
but it's
not something I would put in my room
No.
because the problem is I have night vision. So, story about Billy's house.
oh no.
Billy's older brother had a Connect. Was that? Yeah, that was his. Is that his?
Yeah.
I can't remember if that was. I think that was the other house because it was later. Because he eventually bought it, and it was way later.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we were messing around with some night vision when it was off, except it wasn't off because I don't know if you've ever seen Connect. When it's on in night vision, the grid lines, the dots show up, and so it was off. And I have a video somewhere of it not being off when it's off, and of course it was still plugged in and plugged into the internet and everything. And I looked at it and I was like, dude, the Connect is still on. He's like, no, it's not. We had like a 3-minute discussion about it. Then it turns off. And it was so creepy. And I was like, this is on the edge of conspiracy theory stuff at this point, where it's like turning on and scanning the room and then turning off on its own. And he said he caught it doing that several more times. I don't know about that. But for whatever reason, it had definitely turned on when the Xbox was off and everything was off. And it was showing up on the router. And we were just happened to be in the room recording with a chintzy little, junky night vision cheap camera we were playing with. I think we were probably chasing him in all honesty. But I don't remember exactly what we were doing. But we were playing with
Poor Billy.
Do you remember that?
Man.
Do you remember that sight he had?
Youngest.
The scope. I mean, he didn't have a weapon
Yeah.
for it, but he had the scope with the night vision. That's what that was. Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of those things that was like kind of like part of that slow, the whole concept of like boiling the frog very slowly.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that people just got used to.
Yep.
Because like the technology when they put it on the Xbox One, your Xbox could be turned off and then you could walk into the room and it would see that even though it was off, it would see that you walk into the room.
Their definition
turn
of
itself,
off and mine are different.
Yeah, and turn itself on. And it was just like one of those things that was like, it's only a little step into dystopia. So it's not bad, right?
There's this great book that I once read by this dude named George Orwell called 1984.
Oh yeah.
And if you haven't heard it, you should check it out. I don't want to go too far into that one because I know your viewers hate conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Yes.
1984 by George Orwell. I believe that's how he prefaces it with little steps to take big measures.
And that was mostly the feeling when the Xbox One was launching with the Kinect, which we'll get into right now real quick, and we'll see however much you guys want to talk about that. But Xbox One 2013 came out, Don Matrick TV,
It was that long ago?
2013, man, 13 years ago.
Oh.
I actually
You
bought
guys
it.
feel old?
I bought it on launch day because I couldn't get
feel
the PS4.
old. I just feel forgetful.
The PS4.
Wow.
I that was the last time I ever went to a console drop
Dang.
because I sat in line.
Wasn't that the last console drop that actually existed and it wasn't like we have 3 in stock, good luck?
Yeah,
Probably,
the PS5 was bigger.
Yeah.
But I sat in line for 6.5 hours at Best Buy just for them to come out and say, we only have 4.
See?
Oh man.
Oh,
That's
case in point.
terrible.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then so I was like, okay. And I had to go back to work. So I went back to work. I came back. Anyways, I had the day off because I took the day off for the drop. And I came back the next day and there was a pallet of Xbox Ones.
Dang, there you go.
And I went, I'll take one. And it came with a Kinect. But the only way I remember the Kinect is my friend right before he leaving, because we were roommates, leaving for work, he'd go, hey, Xbox, turn off. And he'd walk out the front door.
Oh, that's terrible.
And it's not like Siri it is now where it only recognizes your voice.
Yeah, anybody says it.
Anybody said, hey, Xbox, turn off, it would turn off. And he'd go, hey, Xbox, turn off, yes. And he'd leave. And I'd be in the middle of the game and it would turn off. Yeah.
Dude, that's horrible.
That's the
man.
only... That is literally the only thing I remember about the Kinect
Josh.
for the
is awesome.
Xbox One.
What about the games though? What games did you play when you got it?
Dead Rising.
Oh yeah.
The second
3?
one.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that was the one.
Third.
Was it the third?
Yeah. It was 3.
Oh, 3, yeah, because 2
Yeah.
was with the daughter.
Yeah.
That's right. So 3, I played that one, and then Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Oh, I forgot that was a launch. Yeah.
Played that one a lot.
Mm.
And then, honestly, I only kept the Xbox One for a while, and then I found someone who wanted the Xbox, and we traded. So we
Oh,
PS4
for PS4.
to Xbox.
Dang, that's cool. That's what's up.
it was like, I don't know, 2 months, 3 months I had the Xbox One.
Dang.
But
That's
we played,
a good deal right there.
I think, Assassin's Creed and Dead Rising.
That's dope, man.
Also came with Forza 5.
Yeah, but we played Forza on
Yeah.
it. But yeah, it was only out for a couple months, and then I was like, I really wanted the PS4. So
Yeah.
One of my wife's favorite games, Zoo Tycoon.
I forgot that launched as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Charles? What's your history with the Xbox One?
I've
ONE?
never owned an Xbox
Never.
One because they were unavailable when I had the money. And then I didn't have the money, and in the middle between the two, I built another PC
Yep.
for roughly the cost people were paying for like the PlayStation.
Yep.
I
It was
think
like 3
I
months.
bought
And
a
then you could do it.
Mobo, an i9-9900 chip, and 64 gigs of RAM, and it came out to like after some sales on Newegg, like $900.
Dang.
And because Newegg,
Yeah,
and I
Newegg.
reused my case and power supply and everything, and so I didn't have a lot of launch or immediate experience with that. It was just tangentially, kind of ironically, like the first Xbox, where I've definitely played Xbox One a fair amount, but it always is either we go to someone's friend's house and they have one and we play it or whatever, or now because crossplay is a thing, I encounter Xbox Ones through Steam.
Yep.
In
Yep.
that
Yeah.
we're playing like, you know, a crossover game. Can't think of
That's
one off
crazy
the
you
top of
said
my
For Honor. I forgot that released. Did you say For
Skyrim?
Honor came out in 360?
No. That was.
Oh, that was
What did I
Xbox
say?
One.
Yeah, that was Xbox.
You said
One. Yeah.
Dishonored.
Oh, Dishonored. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
okay.
Dishonored.
Call of Duty
Yeah.
Ghosts too.
Yeah.
That's when that one came out. Was one.
Yeah.
Which got panned when it came out, but I hear some
It's so
some
much better than
revisionist.
Breakpoint.
I hear revisionist history now about that.
Yeah.
game.
Wildlands, Ghost Recon Wildlands is so much better than Breakpoint.
Oh yeah. I heard that too. Yeah, Wildlands was fun. I played a little bit of that with my buddy.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Oh, you're talking about Ghosts like
I was
Call of
talking
Duty.
about Call of Duty. Ghosts.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
My bad. I think Ghosts, and I think I'm a big Tom Clancy fan.
It's
So
all good. That's all good. David, what's your history with, if any, with Xbox One?
Mine's actually kind of limited because
I feel like all
I-
of ours is going to be. This
I
way.
had a
Yeah.
I had a friend who had one around the time that it came out, but then shortly after that, I kind of fell out of gaming for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I did play. So there were two games that made an impression on me that were cool. First one was Titanfall.
Oh yeah.
I really
Yeah.
enjoyed that one.
Mm.
And then the second one was Sunset Overdrive.
That game looks.
That was a really interesting
That was a
one.
good game.
That one I feel like was just not very well received. But I kind of like didn't understand why, because it was a cool game.
I think
Mhm.
the title has nothing to do with the game.
Yeah, it's just a cool title, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it does. Clearly, it does.
Mhm.
But like,
Was that technically like a rail shooter?
No,
No.
it was kind
You're
of like
grinding on rails.
yeah,
Yeah.
there-
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you were grinding on rails. It was kind of
Supposed
like
to be a bad joke.
it was kind of like Tony
oh,
Hawk.
that was a very bad joke.
Meets,
So bad, no one got it.
Yeah.
It
It was
what's
like
a rail shooter?
it was like Tony Hawk meets GTA with like a cyberpunk
Yeah.
kind of aesthetic.
zombies. Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah.
a cool game. It reminded me aesthetically. It reminded me, like you said, Cyberpunk. A little bit of split. I'd say a little bit of Splatoon in there.
yeah.
Aesthetic wise, just the coloring and the excessive random curves.
Mhm.
But yeah, my thing with Sunset Overdrive, I didn't originally play it because I thought it was a car game, but I wasn't paying attention to the cover, right? But yeah, that's one of those things where I think the marketing for that game didn't do a very good job of saying what the game actually was. So a lot of people went to play it not knowing anything about it instead of actually heading for the target demographic. And that's how you end up
Yeah.
with a lot of people going, what is this weird thing that why am I Tony Hawking on rails and why am I hitting this button? And
Also,
yeah.
it was on the Xbox One, and not a lot of people played it, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, again, when you tell everyone who stands in line that you only have 4 of them, after they stand in line for 12 hours, and then the next morning you have a pallet of 30, and I'm going to assume they didn't take your phone number the night before to make sure to call you and tell you it was
they
there.
had 4 of the PlayStations,
Well, whatever.
and they had a pallet of Xboxes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see,
Okay.
I
They
see,
had no
okay.
That made
PlayStation
more
4s.
sense. Okay, yeah.
And they had literally, actually, I think it was 2 or 3 pallets of just. I
Dang.
went, is that the new Xbox? I went, yeah.
I'll take
Can
one.
I grab one? Sure. They just didn't care.
Dang! Wow.
Well, it's because that the whole thing with it always having to be online
Yeah.
Yeah.
came out and nobody wanted it.
Yeah. Nobody wanted
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Well,
I
I
didn't
didn't
want it.
I didn't have consistent internet at that point.
Yeah.
'Cause that was you said 2013, right? So
Yeah.
That was partially the reason why I kind of fell out of gaming, is because like I'd never really been a PC gamer. like my PC gaming started late in life. I'd always been a console gamer, and when that generation of consoles came out, it was like you got to install the games before you play them, and the consoles have to be constantly connected to the internet.
Yeah.
I was like,
That's the same as a PC.
I was like, this is like a PC, but just worse.
Yeah.
Why would I want this?
And
I felt real shell shocked too. I'm like, we have to install the games.
And that's
I have
exactly
crappy internet out here.
That's
Like,
exactly why I didn't end up purchasing one. And again, this is a guy I've had love for. I still have multiple Xboxes. I have great love for the Xbox, and they just utterly made it a PC.
Yeah.
And it's just like you said, it's a PC but worse. And along comes someone like Steam, Valve, creating things like the Steam Deck, which is like a PC but the same and smaller and portable and runs Linux, so it doesn't have Windows problems.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh well, it can't do. Look, I hook mine up to my 35-inch TV, and I have a keyboard and mouse. And like 2 days ago, I was using it for running CAD files and sculpting stuff in Blender like a desktop because it can. And when you're faced with an opponent like that, and you're sitting here going, but ours needs to have internet, and ours doesn't have a CD drive, and you have to install games, but oh yeah, it's slower, and also it's going to overheat because we didn't put extra fans in it because we wanted it to look cool. You know,
we'll do an episode later on if you guys want to come back on for like next generation, because there's a lot of, especially since the GDC this year just happened, there's a lot of new info about what Microsoft's plan is for the Xbox, which we're not going to get into right now.
Yeah.
But and also PS6 and potentially handhelds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we'll get to that point. But on terms of the just overall in the Xbox One generation, what games do you remember liking from that? I mean, you said Assassin's Creed starting out, but I mean, 2013 to 2020, a lot of good stuff came out.
Yeah.
What's like your favorites of that generation?
You know, honestly, since I switched over to the PS4 early on, I think I ended up getting another Xbox at some point. But I mean, Guardians, Halo 5 Guardians. You know, we played through that. Not my favorite Halo game, but of course, I'm just going to play it anyways. I will always come back to Microsoft to play Halo. I am a diehard fan. But
Destiny.
Did
you play Destiny?
I was let down by Destiny.
I was let down by Destiny too. I liked the first one. I didn't. Like
I just.
Oh, I thought you meant you were let down by Destiny also.
So,
yes. Two. Period. I liked the first one, but I don't know.
That kind of changed it brought MMOs to the forefront of console, ahead of the game. But it was just kind of its own thing as well.
Yeah.
You know, and I might just be drawing blanks, but I think Xbox One is really where they started losing their first party titles.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, I can list, you know, at least
Forza,
5 or 6 PS4 titles that came out that are exclusive that are bangers. But
well, even Halo wasn't exclusive to it then.
Well,
I mean, it was for a little while, but then it wasn't.
Well, that was later on,
That was later
2018, it was no longer that way.
Yeah, but the
was
first
it that long?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Continue.
But there was just not a lot of first party titles besides like Forza. I mean, they had a whole bunch of iterations of Forza, but I just don't.
Sunset Overdrive, and then finally Halo 5 came out, and that was
like
again, like you said, it was kind of
2015.
2015. So it was like,
it was a couple years into his lifespan, and there was good games that came out in general that were cross-platform, but
but they were cross-platform.
They were cross-platform.
Yeah, they're cross-platform. So.
You know, and I mean, not to make this about PS5, or PlayStation 4, but there was so many titles that came out, and I don't know. I think that's where they started kind of losing their identity. Was I think the precipice or like the point of no return was that launch because they botched that launch. So I remember just being so disappointed in the Xbox launch because of just they were trying to push it as like a Netflix machine and like, oh, this is for the whole family.
They tried to make it a computer.
Yeah, and it was all about multimedia. They didn't hardly mention games. And I think a lot of people got, as the kids say now, the ick from that. Because
did they say that stuff?
Yeah. Because they were like, wait a second. And it was foreshadowing because they didn't and still don't push first party games now.
Yeah.
You know, that was really the falling point was the Xbox One launch.
Yeah. And so in my life, when the Xbox One launched, I was just recently medically disabled. And so I went from having no free time to now I have a devastating heart condition and a nerve condition and a slew of other things we won't get into. But I had suddenly a lot more time I had to do something with. And I normally a very physical outdoors person. I go on hikes, I go camping, I work on cars. And in this particular instance, I was still basically traumatized from what had happened. And the result was I went, well, I guess I'm going to turn to video games. And my first thought was, I'm going to go to the Xbox because that's my nostalgia of back in the day. Like, I've done PC gaming, but I hadn't really done hardcore PC gaming, but I definitely stared at a 360 screen during boot camp, or excuse me, after boot camp, and before that with the Xbox, and going over to friends' houses and playing LAN parties. And so that's where my joy was. And I went to get an Xbox One and ran into exactly that. Everything that they pushed about it had nothing to do with what would have been the original communal feeling that made the Xbox great. And especially listening to the different stories we've talked about here, the thing we seem to love about Xbox is less the console and more the situations the console allowed us to be in. And with that, there's that feeling of LAN parties. And you can LAN party a PlayStation, but it's just not the same, and I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why, but I can tell you it's
I think
not,
Call of Duty's
I've
like the
done it.
only game you can do LAN.
Yeah.
Maybe Uncharted 4 multiplayer.
And so for me, I went to, hang out with my friends who were still in the military, and I was still at the base at that point in time. And so they wanted to hang out and party after work and do gaming and stuff, and I could do some of it. And so I ended up doing PC gaming because Xbox One had that push of, well, now we're just a computer that can't run half the games you want to run and is trying to constantly run all this stuff in the background that, is lagging up your internet and constantly trying to turn on features we can't use, and you have to install everything. And they absolutely shot themselves in the foot. And that's, to me, that was the end of Xbox.
The death of Xbox, yeah.
That was when it no longer was a game console and it became something else.
Yeah, for me, I remember purchasing an Xbox One because I think at that point I was trying to get a PS4 Pro. This is like 2017 time.
Yeah.
So I was trying to get a PS4 Pro. I was saving up money. I ended up getting a 3DS instead. And then my cousin who lived down the road was like, hey, I'm going to probably sell my Xbox One because we're on PS4 now. And I was like, hey, how much do you want for it and all your games? So I bought it from him. And I basically only played Minecraft and Fortnite on that thing for the longest time. And of course, Halo Master Chief Collection. That was about it. There was maybe some other titles, but I never got to Sunset Overdrive or anything like that. There is that and Rise Son of Rome that sound pretty great, but honestly,
Rise is a good series too. Yeah.
And honestly, there wasn't a whole lot for me. When Game Pass came along, that allowed me to play more stuff.
That changed.
Yeah, I think that's kind of why they did that too, is to try to get people back.
Yes.
But the reality was Game Pass exists on PC too.
Yep, exactly. So it kind of goes back to the thing where Microsoft always kind of thought of like a generation ahead, but the people of that time weren't in that mindset for that generation. The online DRM, the download only stuff, all the other things are all things that
they're normal now.
I mean, game key cards for the Switch 2 is basically what Microsoft was talking about in 2013.
Yeah.
That's basically what they were talking about. You have the disc,
I don't own a
license,
Switch 2 either.
And but also the whole streaming thing too.
Yeah.
They were way ahead of their time, but they were selling to the wrong audience. I was listening to a podcast the other week, and the guy who said something like, you have to prioritize the audience of today, not prioritize the audience of tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Microsoft's cool, and they always try to look for the next big thing, but they're always the first ones to get there and fail because of it.
Yeah.
And it's really sad to see because there were so many great things that led them to that situation. Taking that risk and putting the Xbox out there into a space where Sega is dying and PlayStation's going to be this rising star in the PS2 era.
Yeah.
And then online with the LAN port, and then in 360 with the Wi-Fi, all the add-ons and everything and all that stuff. So, and then everything's built in by the time the 360 Slim comes along. So it's like really interesting to see Microsoft do that, but they were too big for their britches come 2013.
Well, they basically, and what's funny is if you look
and
at
the Kinect didn't help either.
Yeah, it did. No, if you look at the market research and you talk to people who definitely were involved, and we do know some people who are definitely involved in that, they sit there going, yeah, we agree that it was a bad idea, but somebody said, nah, they love Xbox so much that it doesn't matter what we do to them. And to me, it's very reminiscent of the somewhat recent Apple issues of, I think Tron Legacy said it wonderfully when the guy goes, what's the difference with this year's OS? Oh, we put a 16 on the box, right? And So it's one of those things where they basically, like you said, too big for the britches. They looked at it and they went, our audience is extremely loyal to us and us alone, and forgot
we're the
that
biggest console.
we're the bestest ever, and everything
Yeah.
we do they're going to love because it's from us, instead of looking at the fact that their target demographic wants the things, and you lose touch with your base audience that got you. It's the classic forgetting where you came from, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
reality is the Xbox One is a good product, or was a good product, but it shouldn't have been an Xbox One. It should have been some sort of media station.
Mm.
If that's what they wanted it to be, they shouldn't have tried to combine the two. They should have just gone, check out this really cool media station that we did that is awesome and does all these things. Also, it plays all our Xbox games. Oh, and over here's our normal Xbox.
You know what's kind of
Yeah.
funny is it ended up working that way. Because
That's what
I
they
know a
ended up
lot of
having
people
to
who
do.
don't even play video games who have Xboxes as
Yeah.
DVD players and just like a Roku essentially.
And they ended up
Yeah.
marketing
It's a
that way
great
too.
media box.
yeah, it's a great
really
media
good.
box.
And they ended up marketing that way too, because now you have two options. You have the one with the disk drive that people like to play games and has extra ports and different things. And then you have the media center version. So they did eventually end up at
Yeah.
something similar to that. Why they couldn't have just done that from launch instead of getting arrogant and going, people like it because we did it.
Yeah, it's interesting. And also, gaming was kind of in a dire place at that point because you had that. You also had the Wii U a year
Yeah.
earlier.
Oh my god!
And
yeah.
speaking about people who take their audience for granted and
Yes.
don't appeal to them,
Yeah.
the Wii U was the perfect example of that too.
completely failed, didn't it?
Totally.
Oh,
Like it
yes.
sold less. I think it sold barely less copies than the GameCube.
Yeah, they
I
barely
always did
they
wanna-
broke
Yeah.
even, but probably not by a lot.
I always did
Not
want
by
to
a
try
lot.
that zombie
I think they
game.
lost. I think they lost.
the
money, but-
iZombie or whatever it was that was on
Oh,
there.
Zombie U.
Zombie U.
Yeah.
I always did want to try that though.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it
on
has some
Steam.
good stuff. They
Is
just
it?
didn't.
Yeah, it's on Steam. You can just
Oh.
type in "zombie" with an I, and
Oh.
I think Ubisoft published it, so it's on
Oh, wow.
Steam.
The funny
But-
thing was that was the Wii U was kind of like ahead of the curve
It was
in a little
cool.
in a few ways.
Yeah,
It was just like there was almost no games for it,
Mhm.
and like it was underpowered and
Yeah.
just like
there was a different situation with it, but it was kind of like along the same lines of, hey, the Wii was the best-selling console.
So
People will follow us, kind of
Yeah.
like with the PS2, the PS3. It was the same mistake
and
that Sony
history
made.
repeats.
That history repeats. Nintendo and Microsoft have. it.
I remember the PS3 had the whole like Oasis type thing from Ready Player One.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Where there was like
yeah.
the little avatars
yeah.
you'd run around.
The home.
It
PlayStation
exists.
Home
I
and
have it
stuff.
on Steam.
Yeah.
They have the Oasis.
It's called VR Chat now.
Well, that's one of those things, like the Steam Deck kind of comes from things like the Wii U, because they did it, but they didn't answer. And that's where I have such great respect for Valve until they eventually do the same thing someday. But in the
Maybe.
meantime, I have such great respect for Valve because they looked at things like the Wii U and went, hey, people did have interest in that. But what were the things people hated? Well, it was slow as molasses and didn't have any games. Okay, so if we're going to do that, we need to go talk to somebody and get and they literally contracted AMD to get a custom chip so that it would be fast enough to actually play most of their library. And they launched with we're going to try to get all of our games, or at least the grand majority of our games, to be compatible with this. So things you get on Steam just work on the Steam Deck. And it's fast enough to actually play them. And that solved the two problems the Wii U had. And bam, you've got yourself an extremely sellable, I would call it a console, handheld console,
Yeah.
handheld, something.
I mean,
You know.
yeah, the Valve's influence on the market is so crazy with their Steam Deck verification. It's like even games like Doom the Dark Ages run on the Steam
Yeah.
Deck now.
Yeah.
Like id Software put in the extra effort to make an ultra low graphics preset just so they could make it work.
And
Handheld
what I
preset.
love about that, yeah, and it's mostly pre-caching and shader stuff that they killed off or modified to make it work. For a lot of them, is they go, hey, give me an option where I could turn all the shaders off because that's the thing that kills our Steam Deck, and so you can't. And like I said, it's really good they've done that, but they've also done a lot of push for the companies going, hey, we will make it worth your while. If you make this Steam Deck verified, we're going to throw it on this extra web page and it'll become sponsored on our Steam Deck and it'll pop up in the middle
yep.
so we can look at. So there's incentive to
Yeah, there's
actually follow
incentive.
through as a
Yeah.
developer to put the extra, couple of hours in to make it crappier, for lack of a better description.
Pull
You know.
stuff out. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
To do a 343 and port it incorrectly.
Yeah, that being said, there's no really reason to buy an Xbox, One again, but I still do want one version, and that's the CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk version.
Yeah, you would.
Just because it's so funny that it did not play on it.
Yeah.
It was
I
literally-
have the copy if you want to borrow it. I have it on disc.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah, if you want to.
I think it'd be so funny to just have that on a display with the themed Xbox One that could not play the game that it was advertising. I think that'd be just so funny to have. It's just in a glass display. Like, yeah, when this came out, like you think
Billy,
you'd play it,
if
right?
you buy that, I will put that in my pile of museum pieces because I have like the old K Pro for those of you who know what that is, and old school SE Classics in '85 and Commodores and a Commodore 64 and a Tyca Type and a Tonko and all these wonderful old computers. I will put that, even though it's several generations newer than the newest thing in there, because iMac's the newest thing I have in there.
If you find the Cyberpunk console, whenever you find it, I have the disc. If you want to borrow it,
it'd just be so funny to just take a picture.
You can have it. I'll never play it.
Yeah.
If any of the listeners have that specific Xbox One, please send an email to Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah, Snarp
I
Fangle.
just think
let
it's
us
so
know.
funny that it could not play the game, that it was, I don't know. I think that was hilarious.
Before we go, I do want to say a couple things that were on Xbox One that were exclusive at the time. Actually, Rare Replay still is.
Was it really?
Yeah, it's 30 games from WarioWare if you want to play it there. I don't know why they haven't ported it to Steam or PC. Boggles my mind. But something that isn't no longer exclusive, Killer Instinct. Bro, I'm not a fighting game guy. I loved Injustice and some Mortal Kombats. But I'll tell you what, man, the spectacle of playing Killer Instinct with the sound and the characters and the ultra combo is so dope. Man, let me tell you, Killer Instinct, it's on Steam now. It's on PC. You can get it there.
Is that like a continuation of like the Rareware series?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they did a new version.
Yeah, that was back in launch. That was at the launch. Of
That's
Xbox One.
crazy.
Yeah, and it was dope, man. God, I love it so much. I'm bad at fighting games, but man, is it dope. Honestly, there's not a whole lot else, to be quite frank. Sunset Overdrive, Quantum Break, you can both play on PC nowadays. The Ori games are on PC.
Ori was good.
This generation also had Red Dead Redemption 2 as well.
Oh, yeah.
As well as Titanfall 2. So a lot of good stuff coming out.
Was Titanfall 2 an exclusive?
No, I was just talking about I'm just starting to go through other stuff now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He ran out of exclusives.
I ran out of
proving
exclusives,
the
guys.
point that we were talking
Yeah,
about.
I actually looked up.
GTA 5 also on that.
I actually
console.
looked up the Xbox One exclusives
and Phantom
before we did that because in preparation, I was just like, wow, there's not a lot here.
Yeah, Gears Ultimate Edition and Gears 4 and 5. But 5's now on PC. Forza 3 is trapped on Xbox, but 4 is on PC.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like Forza Horizon, I should say. But yeah, it's
You ready for this? I'm looking at the top 10 games for Xbox One of all time. This is a Metacritic, so it's actually
GTA
voted
5 is
on.
going to be number 1.
No, it's number 2. Red Dead Redemption 2 is number 1.
Okay.
GTA 5, Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain.
This
Celeste.
is the link I put in the doc, by the way.
Oh, is it? Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Resident Evil 2, Inside, Forza Horizon 4, Divinity Original Sin 2, What Remains of Edith Finch. Never heard of that one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's
good?
weird. That's in the top 10.
Cuphead and the Delicious Last Course is 11.
Cuphead was
And
decent.
Dragon Quest XIS, Echoes of an Exclusive Age. I refuse to say that correctly. Is number 12.
All third-party stuff.
I was going to say, none of those are exclusive. And I think that proves the point.
Yeah.
Inside is such a dope game. That's
That's
like
a
my
good game.
I've
favorite
never
game,
played that
bro.
game.
I've
We
watched
need
a
to do a
playthrough.
spoiler
I've
cast
never
on it,
played it.
guys. When
Yeah.
you do peak analysis, it's 2.5 hours. Go play it, come back,
Okay.
and we'll do it. David, you have to play it for peak analysis of that.
Speaking of 2.5 hours, dare I ask how long into this recording?
We're at the end, so
well, I know that, but
no, we'll just say it's the end.
the end. That
You'll
many.
see it, you'll
Cool.
see it.
Exciting.
Any last words on
Been 11
Xbox?
minutes.
We're gonna save the future stuff for another podcast, but anything else?
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do a part 2
Yeah,
of
part
this
2 for the
discussion.
future of the consoles.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. And our critiques and the coup that you helped participate. You may or may not have participated in, Charles. Thank you.
Chicken coop.
Getting Phil Spencer out of there and Sarah Bond out of there. We appreciate you, sir. Now it's all gonna be AI, Charles. Thanks.
AI.
I think
What's the A stand for again?
I think the Xbox has like a big legacy. You know,
Does.
I think
Big
that
shoes to fill.
it really got a lot of, I would say in the American market.
Yep.
I'd say a lot of people. It got me into gaming. You know, I didn't. I mean, had the PlayStation 1, but like it really got me into like shooters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Xbox Live was just game changing.
Yeah.
I mean, that really, because no one played PS2 and PS3 online together. Like that wasn't a thing.
Unless you're some weirdos playing Final Fantasy 11.
Yeah, those weirdos.
No.
Like the seamless and pretty much. I mean, it was pretty flawless, the Xbox Live experience. I mean, yeah, there was some lobbies that would take forever to load in on Call of Duty and stuff, but I mean, just Xbox Live changed the world, not just for games, but for just streaming and standardized for streaming. And I mean, without Xbox Live, it would have been not the same format as, like Hulu and Netflix and all these things really capitalized on Xbox Live.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Xbox Live was, to me, is the biggest accomplishment Xbox ever did because it changed not only the gaming landscape, but the world. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
For me, it was like the cultural impact of Xbox.
Yeah.
Like things like Halo and Gears of War, stuff like that. That got me into like basically the current generation of gaming at that time.
Yeah.
Because I had a Super Nintendo ever since I was a little small child, and I stuck with that for a long time, like through the whole like PS1, PS2, GameCube era. I basically stuck with my Super Nintendo, and everything outside of that was like stuff that friends had. And then like the Xbox is actually what convinced me to actually go out and buy a current generation console.
Yeah.
Charles, any final words?
I mean, I think I've said a lot of words. I'm sad to see Xbox end up where Xbox has put themselves because of the nostalgia factor. And like you guys have said fairly eloquently, they've done a lot of things that were really groundbreaking for the industry of gaming and to make gaming something that wasn't, goblin mode in a basement somewhere. It was socially because of Xbox, arguably because of Xbox rivaling PlayStation and that rivalry therein because of their existence. Because let's be honest, the GameCube was good, but it was no rivalry in reality. Yeah. Because of that, it made gaming come to the forefront of culture and come to the forefront of society to a degree that allowed us to actually be gamers without ending up like people's brothers that I can think of in this room, and little goblin mode in a basement somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, the video game industry has surpassed the movie industry tenfold,
And it's funny because it's not even because of mobile.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's just because of, it's because of Fortnite probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
you go to concerts in Fortnite.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But
the new Oasis.
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you.
No, that was basically pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's interesting because during this time when Xbox One came out, I was like, oh man, I want a console, and then I found out Minecraft on Java was like the superior version
by so much.
And then I was like, I want to get a computer. And so I looked up what it would take to build a computer. And I think I went to go see like Big Hero 6 or something. I was like, ooh, they're inventors. That makes me invent mode. And then that kind of led me on the path like that led me here where it's like to kind of look up tutorials, see what works, see what doesn't. Volunteer at a shop to tear apart computers. And so I know the hardware and how all that works. So during this time, it was a big transition to PC. And I eventually did get the consoles and appreciated the experiences I got from them, especially PS4 with all the exclusives. But I think Xbox is in an interesting space where, and Valve is too, where things are going to get really interesting in the next 2 years. And I can't wait to see what happens. But in terms of looking back, they did leave a legacy that was very commendable and had an impact on everybody, like you guys were saying. So I think we'll end it there. You guys had your chances. No more words.
Oh
no. All right. Well, on that, we're gonna take our due and get out of here. We're gonna make like a tree and get out of here. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening to another episode of the Snarp Fangle podcast. Thank you for sticking with us for the 3 hours. We really, truly appreciate you. If you are interested in more of Xbox love or more interested in the Xbox story, I have some stuff listed down below. An interview with all the 3 bosses from Ryan McCaffrey at IGN, as well as that Xbox documentary I mentioned earlier, and some couple others. But yeah, we'll hope to see you in the future. And remember, if your console doesn't turn on and you look over, there might be a little blinking icon. We hope it's a good blinking icon. So just remember that. And to Snarp Fangle on.
Bye-bye now.